There it is.
Hey, it didn't say we're live. There it is.
There it is.
We're live.
It's in the couch. You couldn't see
So
it.
welcome to the Bob and Jam Show tonight
And our excellent adventures.
for an unscheduled live. Why?
He didn't have a video done.
Yeah, working on that noisy engine that we have. There was another noise that wasn't that something I had to take care of right now, but while we were in Vegas, while we were at Sturgis, we decided to go ahead and get it taken care of. So I've been working on that video. It's probably going to be about a 30-minute video. So that should be out tomorrow night. I thought I was going to get it done today, but we did some running around, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes about some of the things we got going on. So we wanted to let you know about, and we'll give a few minutes here for a few more people to come on. It's 116 freaking degrees out here in Arizona. Holy son of a buck.
Your farmer's insurance is calling back.
I got to talk to him about my building. Be right back.
So anyway, a few
Hello?
things we have in the works right now is
Yeah.
Thursday night. Tonight's Tuesday, right? So Thursday night, we're going to be in Vegas, and we're going to do a live at Twin Peaks, and that address is 9510 Southeastern Avenue, Las Vegas, Nevada. So if anybody is in that area and want to come out, we'll see you on Thursday night from Twin Peaks. And we're probably not going to do any more Sunday night lives because football season has started, and our lives don't do very good on Sunday night during that. So there's a few people that have been asking. I see Charlie from New Hampshire's on. Hey, he's still here. Thanks for the Sturgis videos. Very busy on my end. Backup of videos remain. I know how that goes. We've still got some that he wanted to do before Sturgis started. So Cece says, we have to stop meeting like this. People are starting to talk. That's right. And Emery's on. Hey, Emery, how are you doing? Slim Jim's on. And Pied Piper says, love watching your videos. Thanks so much, Pied Piper. Jerry's on. How are you and Jill doing? And June is on. Hey, Tam, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Although it's hot.
Yes, 116 degrees here in Arizona. And if a lot of you didn't hear, they were predicting we had about 70-mile-an-hour winds here Sunday night. What we're hearing now, we might have had a burst somewhere between 150 and 185 miles an hour.
They were calling it microbursts. So
And what it basically did is it took telephone poles, or actually power poles, and snapped them like twigs. And they said it takes over 150-mile-an-hour winds to snap them off. Now, I don't know if that's true or not because I've seen hurricanes and they get knocked down too. So I don't know. So it's hard to say. Who knows what it was? It's the neighbor across the street's been here for over 20 years, and he says he's never, ever seen anything like it. He actually, our boat was in the street. He thought the boat got lifted off the trailer, but it couldn't have got lifted off the trailer because it's held in with.
Well, some garages over by where we just built ours, but they were facing the other way because the wind was blowing west to east.
Yeah, they had 14 to 18-foot doors.
And they're gone.
Blew the doors off.
But our building sits this way, so our garage doors are like this. So
plus we sit down a little bit more in a hole. The guy across right on the side of us, have you seen the picture where he had the 3 or 4 car garage? It looks like it's more of a block building. His blew his trailer roof off, not his roof, but his paper. I don't think he had shingles on it. I think it was just tar paper up there and some kind of covering, and it just blew all that paper off because the wood, you can see the plywood now, but it's like, where the hell's all the shingles at? So it's something didn't make sense. So I think it was just more paper. So that all blew off.
That's about what souvenirs we brought back from Sturgis.
We're sitting on one of it right here, which is the
whiskey barrel, the Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel.
Yep. So we showed you that a couple weeks ago on our live. And so I got that. It's got the 82nd.
You know what he's thinking about.
82nd Sturgis Rally engraved in the top. You had a choice of what you wanted to pick. And I kind of wanted to pick that because I might get a few more barrels. Or maybe even just a few lids next few years, until we decide we're kind of done with Sturgis. I don't know when that'll be, but so yeah. So we haven't heard anything back from the Buffalo Chip. We don't want to call today. Rod was actually the owner of the Buffalo Chip, was actually gone all week because he had somebody passed away in his family, wasn't it? Somebody in his family.
He said he was going to his aunt's, and he must have said for a memorial service. I thought he said for his aunt's memorial service. So I'm sorry to hear that about your aunt. He said, so she'll be really happy to see me though. So I'm thinking it was maybe his uncle passed away or somebody else in the family.
Yeah. And so he was going to go, he was supposed to be the grand marshal of the Four Corners rally. And he's like, can't do both. I'm going to go to this because it's this. So we understood that. And he said he'd get back with us. He said he would actually contact us during the weekend. And we're like, no. You take care of your stuff you need to do. We can wait. So we figure if we don't hear from him by tomorrow morning, afternoon, we'll probably text him and just ask how his trip went. He rode his new Indian bike. Might get some pictures of that.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of neat. We get some more information about them. Some of you said you wanted to already start calling. Right now, the Buffalo Chip is not taking any reservations anyway. There's no reason to call them at this moment. Yet. They're getting a brand new computer system. It's supposed to be on. They just got it last year, so I don't know what's going on out there. Last year they did it right before rally started, and they had a heck of a time getting people checked in. What a mess it was. And at least this year they're doing it way before rally season starts, so that's great. So, but he said, good luck if it starts on the 9th. He says, if it is, it's great.
That's
if it's
what they told him, but he said he's not expecting until the end of the month.
He doesn't. Rod's one of these guys, I guess he's been in business for a long time. He's been a lawyer. He doesn't believe a lot of things at all.
People tell him.
So he kind of takes everything, I guess, with a grain of salt and says, hey, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'm already thinking it's going to be sometime in the month of September.
So have you ever heard of this? Big Ben says, 316 says, awesome seeing you guys. I've been busier than a rat in horse crap. I never heard of that one either. So
I've heard of a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. We've used that one. We've got other ones that are kind of. We live down in St. Louis, and we have a lot of sayings that we can't pretty much nowadays. It's not politically correct, so we're not gonna say.
Well, with football coming up in June, that's why we're not doing Sunday Night Live.
So that's one of the announcements we're making tonight.
Season.
Is we are stopping our Sunday lives because we did this last year during football season and couldn't figure out why nobody was watching us. And it's because the football season.
Watching football.
So that officially stopped this week. So they said Sunday is the Super Bowl, not Super Bowl. It's the National Football League starts their games, and so we're not going to be doing a live on Sunday. We do have a special live that we're going to do this week. Why? Because we're going to be in Vegas on Thursday. And if you remember, we talked about this a while back, and if any of you have been hanging around for this season, we've had a really great place that we've done lives at that you guys have gone crazy over, and that is
Twin Peaks.
That's right. So we're going to be at Twin Peaks on Friday. What?
You told me to talk. You were.
I didn't say give out the secrets yet.
Did you? Are they going to insure a building?
She's got to call somebody else tomorrow.
They say they don't insure steel buildings because
it's off on a private lot. If it's on your own property, one thing.
It is on our own property. We bought the property.
There has to be a house on the property. There's no house there. So we're still seeing about that. We may have to switch insurance companies. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. That won't be the first time. So yes, so we got the keys for the building. She probably already told you all that. So yeah, she already gave all the surprises away.
I didn't say nothing about the building.
So we did get our keys. We've both been sitting out in the street. If you heard about that, almost blew away in the hurricane we had. And so we hauled that over there today, took all the boat junk, just kind of threw it in the garage. Because we're heading to Vegas. We'll be in Vegas on Thursday. If any of you are available that you live around there, at 4 o'clock, we'll be eating our dinner. Did you tell them that 4 o'clock they could come and eat?
No, I just told them that we were going to be there and they could meet us there if they wanted. I didn't give them time.
So at 4 o'clock, we'll be there to eat dinner. Find us a good place. Hopefully, we can find something with the power. We can use the computer like we like to use. She likes to use, so she can see you a little bit better.
I got my glasses, but I don't have to put them on. See, so it's like a little.
So we've got that all set up. So unless something drastically happens, we're going to go ahead and post it that we'll be there on Thursday. And then next week's going to be a whole different story because on Friday morning, we are heading to Washington State. We're going to be over there in Seaview. We've been telling you guys about that. So we'll see what we're going to do for videos. We might do some videos where we might do the same thing here. We might come on at this same time, which is our normal time we come on, and do just a quick video, maybe 15 minutes, maybe depending on how long you guys want to talk, and tell you what we've done today. Here's where we're at. Here's what's going on. Here's, whatever you want to see.
What we did today.
So Friday night, hopefully we'll be in Reno. By the time we get there, we probably won't want to get out and do a whole lot. So maybe there might just only be a short that we might put up. But it'll be something to come out here about this same time. Depending on wherever you're at, this is the time. So it's 5 o'clock here on Pacific time, which is what we have in Arizona right now. So everybody's an hour different all the way to the coast. And it's like 8 o'clock, I guess, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 o'clock in the East Coast. So today wasn't too bad other than it's 116 freaking degrees. So we got a bunch of cars breaking down. I got a window regulator I'm putting into the family
Every time we get in the car, it's like, what is going on?
So we had the bad storm. We were in the family truckster, bringing it back home. It's about a 20-mile drive from
This will tell you how bad the storm was. When we got there, it was probably what, 110, 115 at Chili's. When we left, when we got in the family truckster, it said 74 degrees.
Didn't last that long.
No.
Then it was right back up to the 90s.
Well, in the 80s. I don't know.
So yeah,
They said bring your raincoat. It's Washington.
Yes, we already know that, so we're already prepared. We're bringing a
Hey,
couple
we're
of pairs of shorts. I can still wear shorts in 60 weather. I'm okay with that. But you never know. We're gonna bring some jeans. We'll have some jackets and stuff like that. We're not riding the bike. We actually got a rental car now. We decided instead of putting
all the cars breaking down.
decided instead of putting 2,500 miles on my pickup truck, we decided screw that. We'll go get a rental car. And right now they're not
Put
bad.
on somebody else's car.
We got one out of Vegas. It's from Hertz, their choice. I could care less what they give us. I don't really care. For $18 a day. So it wasn't too bad. Now he went ahead and said, hey, I'll go ahead and pay the $13 for the insurance in case some moron coming through Seattle or Portland, wherever the hell those crazy people are at. Anybody's there, let us know if you're still alive. And I guess if you don't respond, I guess we know you didn't make it. So
I think going up, we're not going down the PCH. Going up the PCH,
yeah.
but coming back, I think we're going to come back.
So we've got plenty of time. We're taking 2 full weeks. So we only have a week up there, but we're figuring, I don't know what we're going to do. We might get after a while up there a few days because it's
although somebody's supposed to meet us on the 15th.
Yeah, on Friday. So we'll probably be there at least till Friday, which probably is because we get there on Sunday afternoon. And by the time we kind of look around, see what's going on, it's going to be a pretty neat area. I don't know if it's worth how far north we'll want to travel and look around and see stuff. I'm really into lighthouses and on highway riding. That's one of the reasons why we're thinking about doing Oregon, riding all the way down the one in Oregon. They just say it's priceless. It'd be great to check this out. So for a future motorcycle ride, because I want to get Art, and we've been talking to Art, and Art's getting close to retiring. He's thinking about it finally. So maybe he'll come on tonight. I don't know if he's working late tonight or not. He works goofy hours. Works 3 days a week, midnight, and 2 days a week at regular time, I guess. And so pretty exciting.
So we're asking about gas after the storm. So what we did was we were into the live. So he's like, let me see which one has more gas in it because the big truck was hooked up to the boat. So we either had to take the family truckster, which is the Ford Expedition, or the Ford Ranger. And he gets in the Ford Expedition and he says, nope, we're going to take the Ford Ranger. So he gets in the Ford Ranger. He says, I got it running. So I get all my stuff, get out in the truck, and he can't put it in gear. It won't shift.
Locked in park.
So he's like, guess we're taking the Expedition. So it's on empty. So we got to drive
20 miles.
It's not 20 miles.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. Probably there and back is 20 miles. So we go down to Chili's. It is not 20 miles to Chili's.
Let's see what it is.
I bet you it's 8 to 12.
Right.
So we go down to Chili's thinking we'll just get gas on the way home. That storm hits, powers out everywhere. So he's like, hopefully we can make it back home. So we're driving back and the Laughlin side has
we're kind of in the middle. It's 13 miles. So kind of in the middle between us both.
Closer to
Still.
10. Anyway.
She said 8.
I said 8 to 12. So we get all the way back at the Avi, which is in the Nevada side, because like I said, we're right on Nevada.
We can also see when we left, you could see across the river that Laughlin had power. All their lights and stuff were on.
But there was a 3-mile line trying to get over to Laughlin. So we were coming back the other way, closer to where we lived.
So we thought, head back. Maybe we could find a gas station. There's several gas stations along the way. They told us not to go on the Parkway. Parkway is a big old loop that goes around. They said it's supposed to be really bad up there. I don't know. There's really no trees up there. Those houses blew on the highway. But we never did get up there, so we don't know. So we went down the street, and everything was off. So when we get closer, because we're like, I have no idea how long the power is going to be off. Actually, there's still people now that still do not have power yet. We got very lucky. But so I can see the lights from the Avi. The Avi is a Indian casino, not that kind of Indian, not Indians from
India.
Yeah.
Native Americans.
Yeah. Some people, our daughter yells at us all the time. They're Native Americans. No, they don't. When you go over there, they tell you that you want an Indian taco, you want some Indian bread, you want some Indian this. We're freaking Indians. Come over to the Indian reservation and check us out. So they got a really nice hotel over there, and they got a dock, all kinds of neat stuff. They got a gas station. They got cheap cigarettes and over there. And the gas isn't that cheap, but it's better than California price, which you guys, if you were looking at Facebook, you've seen what they're charging for California gas. So we thought, hey, go over there. We'll get at least, fill it halfway up. We'll at least have gas in case everything shuts down. I didn't want the boats out front sitting on the trailer all hooked up. We have a 26-foot pontoon boat that weighs about 5,000 pounds. It's heavier than hell. And so I didn't want to unhook it and all that. We normally put it on, I have an extra driveway on the side, and I didn't want to unhook it and all that because we knew we were getting the garage. I wanted to just shove it in the garage. that way I ain't got to worry about it anymore. So it's been hooked up ever since Saturday. We went out on the boat on Saturday, took one daughter and son-in-law and the two grandkids.
Two oldest ones.
Some of you might have seen them the other day. They were on.
When we were at Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And he has that stupid thumbnail. See you on the 15th. So is that Bill? I thought his name was Robert. Robert Turner? Are you going to be up there on the 15th? Is that the same guy? I don't know. We got our RV spot. It must be Bill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got your name down as Robert, I think. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see you there.
So, yeah. So everything's pretty much fallen into place. And so we're going to go up there. We'll check things out.
But we didn't finish about the family truckster.
So we decided we were going to go over to the Avi and get gas. And it's another 5 miles or so down the Avi road to get to the casino. Well, before we get there, we see that we have a grocery store here, and it's called Smith's, and they have a gas station out front. And we used to buy most of our groceries there, and we were supposed to get 40 cents a gallon discount. We've been saving that. We were going to wait till we came back and put it in the truck because of the diesel, get 55 gallons of gas, which would never be that low. But so we thought we were going to do that, and then we decided we weren't going to drive the truck. And I thought, family truckster is empty. It needs about 25 gallons, so we'll get gas there. So we pulled up. There was only 2 cars in front of us. The first person in front of us that had like a Ford Ranger 2 and took him like 10 minutes with gas in it. Dude, it only holds 12 gallons of gas. I don't know what the hell you were doing out there. And the next moron's got an old Ford truck that barely ran. I thought I was going to have to push him through.
They got a whole $8 worth of gas.
They paid cash. And it took her, she waddled up to the store, up to the window to pay, and waddled back. And the guy just stands there next to the pump in his hand. And she walks all the way back, tells him, I paid. Oh, okay, I'll turn it on. You stupid moron. Once you seen her turn this way, stupid, you should have turned the pump on. Freaking moron. It's going to be like these stupid
all the time I have
these
to do
stupid places that have bring your own groceries up. What do they call those without people?
Self-checkout.
Self-checkouts. They should give a freaking IQ test to these stupid ass people. Somebody's got 100 items in their golf cart. They might as well had a golf cart as big as 100 items in their shopping cart, rolling over, and they pull up to a self-checkout. And they're looking at it. What do we do? Hey, dumbass, if you don't know, get the hell out. There's people over here to check you out. They'll do it all for you.
You don't have to have a college degree to check out your groceries, but maybe you do.
It's like, which was some retarded people standing in front of us, some tweakers. And I said, I think they need to give a freaking IQ test to these people. They're probably ones that needed it, but we didn't watch them. We only bought a couple things and the debit card. I'm out of there. There's like 6 people there before us. We already check out. We're already out the door, and
because
they're still standing
ice cream. We went in to go to the bathroom and get ice cream because we were going to go back over and check out the lot. Yes, Dairy Queen was closed because there was no electricity.
So we wanted to use the bathroom and all that, so we could go in there and use that. That's what we went over because somebody had to go to the bathroom. I guess I had to go to the bathroom, and then you had to go. So we went over there.
Yeah, because I had to park the truck. I had finished doing the gas and parked the truck.
And so I went over there, used the bathroom, and so I was walking by, and she wanted ice cream. She had a lot of ice cream this week. So I'd seen that they had those little containers, and I thought, they were on sale, $1.50 each. It's probably cheaper than we would have got ice cream at the ice cream place.
Probably.
So I said, come over here, you can pick out, which I knew she was going to get anyway, but get her ice cream, and then we rang it up, and once again, I've never seen more retarded people at self-checkouts than anything else. Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm insulting people that actually have handicaps, people that are actually retarded. These are just stupid people.
So tell them, Red.
Tweakers. We have tweakers.
Well,
you ever see anybody riding a bicycle
purpose to
over
the end
30
of
years
this
old?
story, if he ever finishes.
So we got our gas. So we filled it all up, and then we decided to go over and check out the lot. So the family truckster is all filled up. And so we get it home. After we checked the building out, it was fine. Pull in the driveway, and the window's been acting up since the day we bought it. It's real slow going up. So I tell her, come over here. I'm holding the window. Push the button to put the window up. Well, she pushes it down as I pull up, and we pull it out of the track.
I think you pulled before I pushed the button.
Button?
But it's all my fault.
Your button?
That was the whole end of the story. So now the family truckster.
There's a window.
It's got 2 screwdrivers.
Hold the window, because I've already got it all apart. I took the regulator out. It's new and finally picked it up today. I got to wait till tomorrow morning when it's not 160
Chris, I'm glad
degrees.
you're okay.
Put that in, and then also, we blame the kids on this. They were out here 4th of July, and the back door, you can't open it anymore. They broke the handle. They broke the clip inside there. $28 freaking clip from Ford, and that's supposed to be here tomorrow. Or I could buy a handle from $22 from Amazon, which will be here next year sometime.
Yeah,
So-
why Amazon? Has your guys' Amazon been slow? Is it because of gas prices? Usually we could get something and get it
2
the
days.
next day.
No, 2 days.
2
will
days
be
at
here.
the most. A lot of times next
Arizona,
day.
or back in California was 1 day.
Anyway, I was going to order some stuff I needed, and I thought, well, I better hurry up and order that so I can get it before we leave on Thursday. It won't get here till Saturday. It's never been like that before.
So that was
Anyway.
the story on the truckster. So we get it home here. So I've it all tore apart. It's got, then somebody lost my credit card today.
That, again, was not my fault. Did you thank God that we found it?
No, because it was just canceled. I found my Best Buy cards.
So he thinks it's my fault again. And where it was right next to his seat. No, you were going to rent that car. I think so. And
Because
he
I said-
probably pulled it out, sat it down
No, I
next to
didn't.
him. So we
I
looked
said
all over the house.
not until we had a place to leave the car, because we're leaving our truck. So we're going to Vegas because there's no car rental places here. Go all the way into Vegas. So I said, what we could do is we could either go Thursday morning, get up early, drive 90 miles, pick it up, drive it back here, and then leave Friday morning. So I said, I found a hotel. We do have a friend there. I said, well, you need to see if she'll let us sit the Ranger out in front of her house. So she never would ask her.
It's an HOA. It's a over senior
Stick a
citizen.
handicap sticker on it, and they can't. What are they going to do? You going to tow a handicapped person's vehicle?
You
They
say
can move
that
it up
all
and
the
down the
time.
street a couple times, put it in the driveway, take it out of the driveway, but you never asked her. So we had to wait till the day.
So they're not delivering Amazons because you called them retarded.
Not Amazon, I didn't call retarded. It's the morons at self-checkouts. I didn't call Amazon retarded. They're stupid sometimes. She'll even tell you Amazon. She was arguing this morning a while ago with Alexa.
Well, those are all, don't get me going. So I told her, I said, Alexa, you're not very smart.
She's not listening to you.
She'd like to know what went wrong. You don't have any
Proper.
idea what's going on. I argue with her all the time. And I used to have Siri. Oh my gosh. Didn't like her either.
She doesn't like computers.
Mm-mm.
So I've been doing that. So I got this video about halfway done. It's all about the noise in our motor. We also got, what else did we get from Sturgis? Did we bring anything else home from Sturgis? Not really.
Well, you got all your stuff
Oh,
to
yeah, I
put
got a
up.
bunch of banners that we got, and you'll be seeing those soon. I'll probably go hang them up in the garage when we get home, and until I get everything done. But I haven't decided if I'm going to put plywood against the walls all the way around, or if we're going to put the corrugated steel. The only thing about the corrugated steel is then I can't paint it. I wouldn't be able to paint it Harley colors, which we could do it on the wood. I don't want to drywall it for a couple of reasons. One, if I want to high pressure to wash the floor, I don't want to get it all wet. If we do bump into something, paneling, with the way these walls are built, you don't have to build a framework if you put plywood up. So, and I don't have to do it with the steel either. So I don't know yet. We're still going back and forth on which way we're going to fix it up. Epoxy floors next. Well, I've got to get the water ran. I haven't done that yet because it's 116 freaking degrees here. But
Alexa, what's 0 divided by 0?
0 divided by 0 is undefined.
Just that was undefined.
there's no answer because you can't divide it.
I know there's a lot of stupid questions you can ask her, but when I ask her something, she's
It's always something stupid where you say, Alexa, tell me a joke.
What do you say to a toilet on its birthday? Happy B-Day. By the way, I have a routine you might like. I can welcome you home with the day's news and relaxing music. Do you
no,
want to try it?
no.
Thanks. How do you know when we get home?
She knows.
Here's something I found on the web.
Now you got her going.
So what I would recommend that people do is when you get home or if you're already home, go outside and walk around the perimeter of your apartment, your home, whatever unit that you live in, and you're looking for a meter that is reading the energy usage of your house.
What's weird is we usually have her playing music all day long.
For the dog.
And so when we go to bed, or get ready to watch a little bit of TV, and we say, Alexa, stop music. And she won't. And you tell her, and you say, pause, stop.
Finally, you have to do is just turn the volume. Just tell her to turn volume down to 0.
Or unplug them. I've done that before. Just go and unplug them all.
We have like 5 of them throughout the house. I don't know what's with that, because they say if it's one person talks most of the time, but I mean it's usually me that usually tells it more, but it does it with me.
Because I tell her off.
Because usually I can get it to go off, but I don't
Hey,
know.
David.
So
Thanks for
it's
the
a
ice
whole
cream.
nother,
You got me started.
whole nother story. So
Yes.
so that's some of the things we wanted to touch base on today. Is no more lives on Sunday until football season's over. Thursday night, this Thursday, we're going to be at Twin Peaks. You guys can check it out.
We're setting off their Alexas, it says.
That's not supposed to do that anymore. That's why on the TVs it used to do that all the time.
The
And they're
commercials.
supposed to change it now to where it doesn't do that. Here, see if everybody can get the same time. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 5:24 p.m.
5:24.
We've been on 24 minutes.
That's right.
So we're not going to be very long tonight. We
Patton
just
Gary.
kind of wanted to come on because I didn't have a video tonight, and we're trying to keep a video out every day for as long as we can do this, just for the fact that YouTube tries to recommend us, which they're really not recommending me a whole lot. Oh, that was the other thing we wanted to talk about, is wanted to make sure you watch the video that we put out yesterday. All about, I'm getting some really great comments in there. It's the one that's about trailer or ride your bike to Sturgis. And I got a lot of people that have wrote some really good stories on there in the comments. So you guys should check that out and watch the video. It's pretty neat. We just kind of talk about, which is one of the things we did. We see that all the time. And we used to be like that too. When we first rode our bike to Sturgis.
I rode mine to Sturgis.
And we passed up trailers. We'd be like, oh, look at them wussies. They're driving their trailer. They're pulling their stuff. So I imagine everybody has thought that when they're riding the bike. But then when you see different circumstances, issues that she's got, also with that, like I tell people, the equipment that we bring, you wouldn't believe all the stuff I have. We've actually now got 4 big giant black boxes that if you're on the Patreon, I just put up the first $9 one that you guys can see about if you're interested in helping us at a rally or videotaping a rally that we're not at. I'm starting to do some videos there to show people, if you're with us, it's not that big a deal. We can give you a camera to let you use. But I'm kind of showing you, if you want to use your phone, how you can do it. We're going to explain things to you, how you can get the videos to us, all kinds of neat things. So if it's something you're interested in doing, maybe, hey, if you do it a little while, maybe you want to start your own YouTube channel.
There you go.
We're okay with that. A lot of great people out here doing videos. But it's what most people always think is they're going to get rich on this. And there's people that make big money on this. But we're not. We're not. Sturgis this year, we made, I think, $2,700, $2,800. That's all I made for putting out 28. That's counting that's the month of August. So it counts the week. It doesn't count the week before, the month before. The month before we only did like $1,500. So for July, and then August we did $2,700, and that's it. Now we also did Patreon money, and a few people bought some T-shirts and stuff like that. So there's a few extra bucks coming in here and there. And that even counted all the people that donated on our channel. A couple of you gave a couple $100 for Charlie to help with his shot that we had to pay for, unexpected expenses that happened.
Rattlesnake bite.
Yeah. So that's why when people look at this and they think, okay, I can make money on this. Yeah, there's definitely people making money, but just like the video that had 125,000 views, I made about $300 on that video. Well, you think, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, but I've got other videos that's got 10 or 15,000 views on it, and I make $5. So you figure the time, the equipment that you have to buy, you figure the time it takes you to videotape, the time it takes you to edit. It doesn't, like I said, I left a job and she left a job making over $50 an hour with benefits. So this isn't something we're doing to make money on. It's something we enjoy doing this. We love giving you guys information. But last year we did a lot of videos. We did, 15, 16, I think we did 18 rallies last year all around the United States, and we spent a lot more money than what we made. And so that's why we're regrouping now and not doing as many rallies. We've kind of stopped all the rallies for the rest of the year.
That money, is that YouTube advertising or Patreon money too? Is it both?
No, it is just the YouTube money by itself. So Patreon money I'm getting now, around Sturgis, it always gets really big, and then the rest of the year a lot of people drop off, and we understand that, and that's fine. But here we made about $500 off of Patreon, which the money should have already been deposited, and it has not. So we may not get nothing. I don't know where the money went. Usually when they deposit it in my PayPal account, I get it the same day, and they did it yesterday, and it's still not there today. So I'm going to have to look on Patreon and see what happened to it. So I don't know. Somebody else might have stolen my money. So that's a whole nother story. So right now I only have the $2,700, which we don't even get that till next month. So this month's money, which I don't know if I got it yet or not. I should have already gotten it. It comes around first week of the month. $1,500 from the month before. So you're always a month behind on your payment. Now, bad news about it is there's no taxes or anything taken out of that. And they say, well, you've got expenses. Well, what you've got to watch with YouTube is IRS, especially now since they got 80,000 new IRS agents that they've hired. They get a lot of YouTubers saying this is a hobby you're doing. This is not a job. This is something fun you want to do. Like if we just did Sturgis once a year, that's a hobby. Because you're not putting something out. Well, in our case, it's a little easier to explain this because we put a freaking video out pretty much just for the last 3 months, probably every single day we've had a video out of every place we go. We work the majority of the day filming stuff, and even days like this, I worked this morning for probably 2 or 3 hours on the video that I'm working on now. And so I'm working on that, and then that video all comes up for the next day. Now, luckily now I don't have to go out and film stuff, because we already got footage to do that. But here we had to go check on the garage. We did stuff like that. And so you have to really watch what you can deduct and what you can't deduct, because you don't want the IRS to come back and say, oh, sorry, that's a hobby. So now you're going to pay 48% tax on that money. Plus, you can't take nothing off because it's a hobby now. So it's just like winning money from a lottery or unless you got a lottery that doesn't take tax money out. But normally federal, you're going to take it out anyway. You may not take it on a state money, but if you won gambling money, what?
So Big Ben says he needs your opinion on a bagger coming from a street bike.
Somebody turned the street bike into a bagger? Is that the question?
I need your opinion on a bagger coming from a street bike. What's your opinion of you now driving a bagger versus
going to a street bike?
The street bike you had, I guess, when you were growing up.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's what he's.
Okay. I like a bagger bike. One, there's plenty of place to put a bunch of junk on it. You always have that. We originally got.
Oh, our time. Go ahead.
We normally got our bike originally for our first bagger. Now, we didn't have a bagger. First bike I bought with bags on it was a Goldwing. I bought a used Goldwing. What year we go to California?
2002, but we probably got it in like 2004.
No, I got it right away. Within the first year we had that. Before we ever got the Harley store.
It was 2002.
Because we still lived in
2003. Because we lived in Irvine then when you got it.
So
across on Irvine Boulevard. So it was 2003.
So 2003 we bought that. That's the first bagger I ever owned. Now I've rode baggers before. What started with us was when we started traveling to California from Illinois, flew out, we decided to start renting some bikes. So we got some coupons somewhere along the line that I got these coupons from Harley Davidson that I could rent a bike for $99 for the weekend. You pick it up on Friday night, bring it back on Sunday evening. And so we did that. Well, we kind of liked that bike. And then we found another guy out in LA that rented all kinds of used bikes, which was after I'd used up the coupons, we went to him and rented some different bikes, Kawasaki, Honda, and some different bikes that he had. And so we had never gone on a long trip until we moved to California. The farthest we'd ever rode is from Chicago down to St. Louis on my 750 Honda that we thought we were going to die on. There, we just had a bag on the back, and that was it. We had a luggage rack, and what we took is all we took. And so once we got the bagger, I like a bagger because I like
baggers are street bikes too. You ride them on the street. He said, Mike said baggers.
Yeah, I guess I would think when he says a street bike, I would think more of anything from a crotch rocket to like my 750 Honda to if you were going to get.
But what Harley would you get if it was your first?
My first bike, kind of like what she got, a 1200 Sportster. Don't waste your money on an 883. Get a 1200. It's a lot more power, a lot more. You can ride it on the highway. Depends on what you want to do. If you're like, see, when we first got our bike, all I've ever had, I've never been a far rider until we joined our hog group with Art. Actually, I don't know if Art did long rides before that or not. But when I met Art, we joined up with the Corona Harley Davidson group there and joined a hog group. It just started. And that's what got us riding all the time.
So the one you can afford is the first bike you should get.
So my first one was, would you say what year I buy the first one in Vegas?
It was probably that one?
Yeah.
07. It was when we
So we bought an 01 and 07. That's the first Harley I bought. It was $12,000. It had 12,000 miles on it. It was just a classic. It didn't have the what's the things that they said that,
The lowers?
Yeah, it didn't have the lowers on it. And but it had the saddlebags and had the back. It didn't. So it was a nice bike. And we rode that, and we basically bought that, had it about 2.5 years, and we moved up to the '09 that I bought next.
He got that
And
for
it was a
his
1-year old.
50th birthday. He got it on his birthday.
So we got that one, and because that's what happened. We were starting to put on, just in 2-3 years, we were putting 50,000 miles on the bike, and
About a mile away.
I never rode it to work. I always rode it. Me, Art was like that too. We got on the weekends and we would ride all day, Saturday and Sunday. We'd be out. We'd go all the way up the coast to Morro Bay and have lunch, or we'd go down to San Diego. We go out to Palm Springs.
Big Bear.
We always
taller
rode.
than Mount Washington.
Yeah. So we rode a lot. We rode all the time. And Art's the greatest guy in the world to ride with, because all Art wants to do is just ride. He never complained. He never asked questions. He always wanted to stop for a cigarette. Other than that,
Mike says a friend of his, a friend and her husband rode a 2-stroke Yamaha 250 from Florida to California and then back to Miami in the late 60s. Rode double with some luggage and some camping gear.
and it's tough, just like some of the people. We met that guy from Texas that rode up on a Sportster. I think his was an 883 we had on our channel. You know, and that's brave. We met a girl last year. She was one of the bartenders. She came from California and rode over on a Sportster 883. And it's hats off to you.
Yeah. ZX10R, and he wants to get a bagger like a Dyno Ultra or a Wide Glide. That's what he's thinking about.
Yeah. And it's good bikes. And it's what I always tell people to do is try to see if you can find one you can rent. That way you can take it out and you can ride it and make sure it's what you really want. That's kind of the bad thing about a lot of people when you buy a motorcycle, is it's just like a lot of people do. You got the bad case of I want this, and then it's like the exercise equipment. Everybody's got exercise equipment in their bedroom with furniture or clothing hanging on it, and it's more of a closet than it is an exercise device. So that's one of the things. That's why we built up to the new bike that I have. I bought the 2014. That's my only brand new Harley I ever owned. And because I got to the point where I thought, hey, we're going to ride it. Let's get something really nice, something new. Never had a new one, something that'll last me a lifetime. Well, luckily, not really luckily, but we moved it out. When we came out here to Arizona, we moved down to a 1-bedroom apartment that just had a carport. And I brought the bike out here. And we left it in the garage for 3 or 4 years. And I never really rode it, but maybe a couple 100 miles a month. So
Big Ben said. He says he'll rent a couple different ones, and figure out which one he likes.
And
the best.
you want to see kind of what you want, and there's a lot of places. Like if you come to
but
Sturgis,
the storage is really nice.
If you go to Sturgis, or if you go down to Daytona, there's also Midwest Motorcycles. They rent bikes. They have all different brands of bikes. They're older. They don't have anything brand spanking new. But there'd be somebody you might want to check out. I just seen them on one of our group pages. They posted a video the other day, and then it's somebody, if you're thinking about renting a bike, it's a good place because you're not paying that price for a brand new bike. I mean, it's got everything from choppers to cruising bikes to crotch rockets to whatever you want to rent. And they bring them all up from Daytona, and they also rent them down in Daytona too. So
I think Big Ben's from the East Coast. That's what he said. We should be back on the East Coast. That's where we belong.
So you can check around. And
Mike, post your picture on our Facebook page if you have Facebook. He said he'll send us a picture of that Yamaha 250 with all the stuff on it.
And there's a lot of them. We've seen them like that. We don't get the camera up fast enough. There was a guy coming through Sturgis the other day when we were there, and it was hanging over the side of his bike. It had to have been it was probably about 5 foot wide, all of his luggage behind you. And it was hanging down. And it's like, if he hits a big bump, that shit's just going to fall off. And it's like, and I didn't get a picture of it quick enough, but I mean, you've seen those. I've seen plenty of pictures of people that have that go with all that. We didn't load our bike up too much. We always had our side. We are very conservative when we used to ride the bike to Sturgis. That's always the farthest place we've ever rode is to Sturgis. We've rode from Southern California all the way up to Oregon, but we've done the Grand Canyon ride with our Harley group. So we've done some different rides like that. But those were kind of when we were riding just the bikes, no trailer or anything like that. That's the kind of rides we were doing. And me and her went on our very first one. We went to Sturgis. We went all by ourselves. There was nobody else. It was my
Broken foot and all.
yeah, that was my '09, and we're like, I wanted to go, and let's go. And we had that was my '09. We had talked to Art about going, but he couldn't get off that year, and he's like, maybe next time I'll go with you guys. And we're like, well, we're gonna go. We want to see what it's like, and we told him all that, and then he went the next time we went. The next couple times he went with us.
I guess Devin's on too, and he said Wyatt is going to present their check either the end of September or early October. So let us know when that is, and we'll try to watch it, because I'm assuming you're going to do a live on Facebook.
Yep. So that's Wyatt. He did really good. I think he was it 16,000, 17,000. He's going to write a check. I think something like that. He was going to write a check. So it's pretty good. Not as good as last year.
We could say this is a religious channel, and you wouldn't have to pay any taxes.
Yeah, but you know how hard it is to get a religious thing?
And then somebody else said, Ralph, he said he wanted to know if the Boondocker lot was still closed at the Abbey. I guess probably because of COVID and all that.
No,
I think it's open.
I don't think the Boondocker lot ever closed.
I don't know.
I don't think so, but it is open now. Everything over there is open again. But the only thing that we've seen when we were over there the other day, they're not allowing boats to come into the beach, which they've always done in the past.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because the water level's a lot lower now. Then it's okay. We were out there this weekend, Saturday, and the water was plenty high. You did see some rocks under the, when you get close to the shore and stuff. We didn't hit nothing, but we didn't go very far in the boat.
No, we didn't. It was hot. Just stopped by to say hello, doing stuff with the RV, trying to get ready to hit the road. Wind Road Therapy's on, so she's said quite a few things. 2 years ago, you couldn't beg, borrow, or steal a stationary bike, and today you couldn't pay someone to take it away.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. Jerry says he rode his Indian Scout from Pittsburgh to St. Paul, no windshield. Oh, that's another thing. I can't.
Well, we never had a windshield on our bike. Well, we never had a radio either until we got that gold wing.
Control. That was my first
and we didn't have any of that. We had that little thing you'd hold on your throttle to kind of hold it down, but we didn't even have ones that on her bike, her 1200, I ended up buying one of those little locks that you could put on it to hold it in to pretend cruise. And but until we had a radio, it was like we turned that radio on, and that gold wing was like, holy crap, there's
like,
music.
This is really nice.
Instead of just sitting there thinking about the world or whatever you're doing. We never did. We've had headsets, but we've never really talked to each other when we're riding. Unless, hey, go look at that, or I got to pee, or whatever she's got to do. And so other than that, we don't chat. There's a lot of people that have an old conversation. So we don't. We ride. And
wow. He rode, Ralph said he even rode Nevada Highway 50, the loneliest road in America. That's scary.
Yeah.
We took, what was the road that we went up to Reno on? That was a desolate road.
Oh, that's a 95.
Man, there is nothing. It's kind of scary. Rode my mountain bike from Tampa to Delaware to prove a point in 31 days. Wow, that's ambitious. Yeah. Was that the year we went by ourselves? Remember we saw them kids traveling across America? We stopped somewhere. I think that was the first year we went, and there was all these kids, and they were going from New York to California, and they were driving. You don't remember that? All them bikes? And we'd pass bicycles, and we'd pass like a dozen or two, and we stopped someplace to eat, and there was like 10 or 12 of them in there, and then we drove more, and there was more.
I guess I can remember that.
So it was like, wow, that was ambitious. I don't know I think they were doing it to raise money. There's Palmetto. Nothing like home. That's right. Home sweet home.
And so, looks like a lot of people on tonight.
Yeah.
We just wanted to come on real quick, just let everybody know about those updates that no live on Sundays till football season's over. We'll be this Thursday. This Thursday we'll be in Las Vegas, and we're going to be doing our best to be a Twin Peaks show at our normal time. We posted a video on that tomorrow. Not a video, but I'll put a thumbnail and all that stuff up. Give you guys a heads up that that's going to be there. If you're out in Vegas, let us know. Maybe we'll meet you there. And you can say hi and pick up a sticker. We're running out of our poutine patches, though. We only got a few of them left.
Yeah.
And don't know if we'll order any more or not. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, I've kind of slid back on buying anything right now. Trying to get the garage all done. And a lot of expenses there that need to be paid. And so we're just going to see how things go the rest of this year. Well, before we know it's going to be, Christmas will be here. And we'll already be getting ready to go ahead to Daytona. So there's a lot of things going on. And
so you passed some guys one time, they were walking, they said they were walking for Jesus, and to find out they turned around and got into a $500,000 tour bus.
It's like our homeless people here that's got a Mercedes sitting on the parking lot and they're out here begging for money. The guy today was begging for money and had an ankle bracelet on. Ones they have here have flashing lights on it too. That I guess if they get out of the area, it makes us
Well,
lets
he
them know.
wasn't very far from the school, so he thought, oh, maybe he was a.
But the school was closed today, so maybe you can get away with it. I didn't know. You know, you're giving that guy money. You have no idea. He could be a predator. He could be a molester. You know, who knows what the guy's in for? Got a bracelet on for.
But that is nothing compared to Party Cove back in the day in St. Louis at Lake of the Ozarks. Ralph wanted to know if we ever went to Havasu Channel during a holiday. We'd been down there. I don't know.
We've been there on the holiday. It's just too busy. It's too crowded.
Nuts. Not very big. When we first had we even moved out here yet?
No.
And they said, oh, it's Party City. They tie up the boats, and we're thinking it's like Party Cove at Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, first we went down there to look at the lake.
So yeah, we drove down there and we're looking around.
But it wasn't Party Cove time when we went down there.
No. And we're looking and they're like, what are you looking for? And we're like, well, the lake. And they're like, Lake Havasu. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, that's it.
Where?
That's like
a river.
It's like a creek.
That's a river. That's no lake.
That's not a lake.
Where's the lake at? And at least up here at Mojave Lake that we have and Lake Mead, they're actually a little bit wider and they do look like a lake. But
Lake Havasu
is not a lake. It's just a channel.
Art says he spent $30,000 on a touring bike and he only toured on it twice.
Oh, you know, it's been 8 years. I was going to send you that. It came up on my
Facebook. He said, I can't find Art. I said, he said he got off of Facebook.
And so I have to send it to you in Messenger or something.
Because no, he's not.
Or text. I guess I have to text
it to him.
And but it's been 8 years since you got that new bike.
Yep, he got an ultra low.
So how many Harley Davidson bikes have you had, Art?
I know he had the Heritage.
No, he had one before that.
He had the Softail.
He had a bike before we met him. No. He traded it in about right when I think when they opened the Corona stores when he traded in the bike that he had. I
know.
Art got a bike almost every year. Got a new bike.
Well, for a couple of years he did.
Well, he drove that Heritage for quite a while. And he didn't he go to Sturgis and back on the Heritage?
I think so.
I think
the first year.
I think he rode the Heritage, and then the next time he
came out here because then did we go to Laughlin that next spring, and then that's when the shocks blew out.
That was on the silver one, though. No, that's when he
got the silver. No, that's when he got the silver one, the gray one. Anyway, hi Tam. So you guys in Sturgis at Uncle Louis. As I was walking up to say hi, you started writing off. Maybe next year. Darn. Sorry about that. Well, sometimes I think I hear people and I turn around and I just kind of wave because it's like, I don't know. Maybe they're not even talking to me. And I've done that before too. Hi, do you know us? And they're like, mm-mm. I'm like, oh. But people look at you and I think, well, I don't know. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't come up.
Because it's funny how you watch some of these different YouTubers, how they change how they're doing things.
Cliff says there's a guy on our YouTube Facebook page selling t-shirts.
Again, I took him off a couple times. Let me look.
So okay, bye. Who said see y'all later? I didn't see that. I don't know.
Facebook.
Bye, Facebook user. I don't know if that was Devin or if that was Tony, but thanks for hanging out. There's a guy. Okay, that's what I just said. What's up, Bob and Tam? Harley won forever. Guess what? I'm not suspended anymore. There you go on Patreon. I'm glad to hear that. Was it something you had to do, or did they just finally release you? Meanwhile, I'm buying them food and feeding all of them. It seems like I had 4 states to write in.
I don't know. I don't see the t-shirt guy.
Cliff said that. Yeah. Cliff.
Is it in a comment or is it actually a post?
Cliff, is it a comment or is it in a post? Did he post it? Oh, he found out what it was. Okay, well, that's good. I know that's tricky because they don't really come out and tell you. You got to dig. I thought Lake Havasu drive up this summer. No, that's Lake Mead. Because it goes from Lake Mead, and then there's, not Bagnell Dam, is it? Hoover Dam. And then Lake Mojave, and then there's Davis Dam, and then Lake Havasu, and then there's Parker Dam. And then it goes to the aqueduct system, which goes, all the water goes to California, and a couple drops go down to the Gulf.
But if you see any, especially in the comments, you can actually hit, when you're in the comments, if you're on that page, you can hit in the comments. Well, usually it does it. There. And it'll come up with a bunch of stuff at the bottom, and you can hit one of those to where you can hit remove, hide it, report it to group administrators, that's the button you want to hit. That way it comes to us so we can see it. Because when it's in the comments, I normally don't go through every one of these comments. I found some today that I took off, and because they're putting it in the responses to where it's not big.
Noticeable.
Yeah, it's not as big, and I just had one I just deleted. It's the same stupid guy.
So Art said he had a Fat Boy was the first and 4 to follow after that. So he's only
Okay.
had 4 Harleys.
No, 5.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, I got the first bike he had.
Sorry, homeless living in tents in that heat. I know. I know I feel bad, especially as hot as it is out here. What's your electricity bill here in the summer?
Well, we have actually a hurricane house here.
So it's all concrete.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, 2-3 feet thick all the way around, except for the roof. It's wood on the roof. It's stuck on the outside. You can't tell unless you try to put a screw or something. You want to try to hang a TV or pictures or something. You got to really watch how heavy to put on because it goes into styrofoam and then it gets
our
seals.
Window seals, not windshield seals, are probably
they're thicker than that.
Close to a foot thick.
And so my last electric bill was $140. That's leaving the air conditioner on all the time. We normally never get near $200 here. Now, some people out here get $400 or $500.
I think you found it. Thanks, Cliff.
I was just looking under our normal group one to make sure it wasn't in my
25 VAP had the live stream feature ad, and so I had to remove it. Wow. I guess that's what happened, why he got suspended.
Why?
A $25 VIP had the live stream feature added, and I had to remove it.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
They said the $25 VIP had the live stream feature added, and I had to remove it.
I don't know.
Because ours has that on there too. All of ours say live streams too, but we don't really do any live streams because I never really figured out how to do live streams through Patreon yet. Which I think I figured out how to do live streams. What you have to do is you go on to the channel here to YouTube and you put it down that it's not public. Then you take that link and you put it onto Patreon and say, hey, come watch this at this time.
He said he reported it to Facebook last night, the t-shirt guy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And one of them I took off this morning, so it might have been the same guy. I caught him a couple of times, same guy, and then we removed him. Because usually with a lot of those, I like to put them down as they have to be pre-approved. So that way I can see if they're posting something else. But when they put them in the comments, I don't think we have to we don't get to pre-prove any of those.
He said it'd been there over a year and they had just seen it.
So was it a $25 person that was complaining that you had a live stream and you weren't giving him the live stream? Was that the only feature he was getting? Because ours starts out at the $9 one. It says you can get a live stream, which I might have taken it off by now. I don't know, because I hadn't really figured out how to do it. Plus, we look at it as what's funny about our Patreon page, I only have about 3 people that actually look at anything. We get this money and nobody really watches them because it shows you when somebody watches your video. So it's like, I don't know. I can assume a lot of people just want to give us money and that's what they do, and that's fine. So I try to put something on there. We haven't been putting as many pictures
because it's only adult content only.
But my $25 is adult content only, but we don't have an adult. My $25 one, because what your $25 one we have gets to see everything. They get the free pictures, they get to see the pictures, they get to do any of the videos that I put up, and then they also get adult stuff too. So you get all of that. Mine doesn't say adult. Mine, I don't know what mine says.
Kamoto says that's what YouTube said about his videos.
What?
I guess what Harley One Forever is saying.
Well, we're talking about Patreon.
Ever get any good buffets or prime rib at the Riverside? Yes, we went the other day to the Rib Room, I think it's called.
Yeah. With
some friends of ours, but it's $22 a person. That's kind of out of our price.
The steak was okay, but they just didn't have a lot of sides. You know, they had mashed potatoes, they had French fries, they had broccoli.
Had corn and spinach, and he likes
no, they didn't have corn.
Not corn, carrots. Carrot and spinach.
Wasn't even real spinach. It was
cream spinach, which I like, but he doesn't like.
And then all the desserts sucked. It was nothing.
Yeah, the desserts were
we have never gone to a buffet that all their desserts sucked. And,
Sometimes they always have that special section that's sugar-free only, and those are usually kind of iffy.
I mean, those aren't so bad.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we're kind of cheap. We don't like to spend a lot of money, so $22 just for. But it did come with your drink, your coffee, tea, or
All right.
soda.
What? He said he got that guy's name. That's what it was. Okay. Looks like a foreign name. The guy that was selling the T-shirts. It's FAIUK. Oh, here I screenshot.
Well, I gotta type it in.
All right.
I can't do something with it without putting the guy's name in. People to see if he's in there. What is it?
It's FAIUK. And then HOSSEN. Right. Frank Holson.
Yeah, he's on here twice. See all.
Oh, he says he only has $25 patrons. Don't know how to answer about a complaint. Oh, Karen sent a blank message. So Roadkill Ron says he likes Harley One Forever's videos. So if you guys haven't checked him out, you can check out Harley One Forever. And then I think our RV Getaways on here, Wind Road Therapy, I think that's their name. And I don't know, I think Big Ben also has a YouTube channel. Big Ben 3.
So there's a lot of them. And Adam still has his going on. Some people were asking how to get a hold of him. He's got his website. He's got a website. What's it called? Amzo Adams.
Website? Yeah. Extreme Bikes.
Yeah,
it's with the X. Extreme Bikes.
Yeah, which is kind of a pain. To me, that's really a hard thing to find. I said, why don't you have your channel called Amzo Adam? Because I guess he had Extreme Bikes to start with, and I guess he didn't want to call his YouTube channel Extreme Bikes. And so it's just confusing to people when they want to go look him up. That's kind of like what we did with our page, which we still need to get everything working on it yet. It's still not all done. But at least you can get some good information from our website at this moment. But it's Bob and Tam, so it's easy to track us down. And our email is the same. But I guess Adams is the same too. I think his email is Extreme Bikes too.
He's still alive too. Don Laughlin.
Yep.
Must be in diapers now with his penthouse. He's got that big old house across.
Yeah, he don't live in the penthouse no more.
Good night, Big Ben.
He lives next door to, I think his son lives next, or his grandson.
Grandson, Matt. I have bare knuckle fighting channel. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they don't do that at the knuckle anymore. My first Harley was a 98 Fat Boy. I bought it new. There you go. Fat Boys are my favorite. And even the new ones now, they don't have Fat Boy lows anymore, but they're still pretty low. I've ridden a couple of those. I like them.
So I don't know. We might eventually, we're probably going to get a couple more motorcycles here once we get the garage going. Some things we'll work on. Maybe we'll end up giving them away. Maybe we'll give them to the vets. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll see how all that goes. Depends on what you guys watch. Get a lot of people wanting to watch us do the garage. And we'll do different videos on that too and throw it in here. Putting the water in, what we do inside to it, some of the other things. I was going to call my brother tonight. My brother's an electrician. I'm going to give him a free trip from St. Louis. He wants to come out and work in the garage for a few weeks.
Hopefully after it gets under the hundreds.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to come out here this hot. I don't even want to work out there in this hot. But it was cooler in the garage than it was outside.
When we cooled in the boat, I'm like, oh, it's not bad in here. But I don't know.
So we got an epoxy the floor and all that. I'll do that myself. I'll put the water line in myself. We're going to call the sewer guy tomorrow, septic guy. And I'll probably have that put in. I want to wait till we get back. I want to be here when he puts it in. And so about the end of the month, we'll do that. And electric, we're trying to figure it out. Power company told me to put a 400, well, I want to run 400 amps. So he said, put a 400 amp sub box in. See, our sub box has a meter on it then. You have to buy, well, when we lived in, I think we lived in Illinois. I think they gave us all that. They gave us the outside box. I just had to put the inside. I don't remember. It's been so long since I put that electric in. I don't remember. But when I went down to check here, the electric supply place, he says, we only have 200. I don't even know if they make a 400 amp sub box. Because that's what the power company said. For running 400 amps, you can't run it more than 40 feet. Can't run it more than 40 feet above ground. And why I don't want to run it underground is because the hill that the pole's on top of, we're going to cut that hill way down. And because I've lost probably, I don't know, 100 feet. Probably that's up on this hill that could be part of my lot. So we want to cut that down. We're not going to cut down where the pole's at because the pole's actually on the neighbor's yard, not mine. And so he said, put the sub there, about halfway over. Then that way, if you cut it down, you only have that little section the rest of the way to go to the back of the building.
No, but our daughter might.
What?
Says 400 amps. What are you going to charge a Tesla?
We've got, we're going to put an RV side on the side of the place, maybe even more than one, but one for sure. I want to put a 50 amp, a 30 amp, and just a 110 plug there. So that's 2 breakers that you're using for the 50 amp. You got to use 2 50 amp breakers, and then you got the 30 amp, which is just a 30 amp breaker, and then another 15 amp breaker there. So what's that? 4 breakers altogether that will be designated to the RV. We want to run 200 amps into the garage, and then I want another 100 amps if we end up putting something else on the property, where if we put another RV, if we put a park model, if we put something, I want to be able to have, because it costs you a lot more money to turn around and say, I put 200 amps in now, and then I decide I want
more.
Yeah.
Better
So,
get it all up front
yeah.
and be done.
And they don't like out here, they don't put 2 meters on a lot. So you'd have to pay again to have it all changed, and don't want to do that again. So that's the reason we're doing it. If I never put nothing else on the lot, never know what I might want to run in there.
It's better to have more and not need it than need it and not
Maybe
have
I want
it.
to have my arc welder and my MIG welder and my hydraulic lifts and everything running at the same time, and my air conditioner on there. We're gonna Emery's gonna help us get air conditioning to air condition the building and stuff. So that's gonna be pretty neat. Could really be nice now to be a little cooler in there. So that's all the kinds of things that we're going to be doing between now and hopefully before we leave at the end of January. Hopefully most of all the stuff will be done.
Sweat to death.
Everything will be pretty much done by then. Hopefully that's the plan. And so probably by the time we get back, it should start to cool down here a little bit. If it even gets down to 100 degrees, and our humidity's down, I can get up early in the morning and get most of this stuff done in a couple hours and move on to the next day.
Scorpion, but not a rattlesnake. Not here. And I didn't even see the one that bit Charlie. I heard it, but I never saw it. What did this guy say? I forgot. Oh, can you guys ride 12 months a year in Arizona if you want to sweat to death?
Yeah. California was the main place we rode all the time. You can ask Art. We always.
Every weekend. Every single weekend.
Probably a few weekends we probably did. My policy always is I'm not going to get on my bike if it's pouring down rain. Now, we did leave one trip. Art went with us. It was raining when we pulled out one of our trips, when we pulled away from the Yorba Linda house. That was raining that day. But by the time we got to Barstool or whatever, it was all sunny again.
Is that when we came to Laughlin?
No, that was going to Sturgis. Because I'm like, we can't postpone it. We got all the motel rooms are all lined up. We can't postpone it. So we pulled out. Art probably remembers that. And pulled out, and it was when we had all the bikes lined up out front, and we were holding off as long as we could. And I was looking at the weather and thinking, okay, it looks like if we get through the Calhoun Pass, we would it should be cleared up.
But we went to the coast, didn't we?
No, the first time, it was probably the first time. No, and that trip wasn't up the coast. First time Art rode with us, we went through.
I wasn't.
Art's been with us.
House. I don't know. Anyway. It says Martin Dragway, they wanted $70 for electric hookup for one day. I went to put a trickle charger on my Buell for the cooling fan to run all the time, and it ran the battery down. That's how I learned to ride a motorcycle on a Buell. I liked that bike. It was yellow. I heard Mojave brown rattlesnakes will chase you. I don't know. I haven't seen any. We had a scorpion out in the backyard. That's the only thing a desert critter we've ever seen.
I have a lot of roadrunners.
Yeah.
And a lot of quail.
Quails, yeah.
They don't run
Why
so
is
fast.
my name and picture not showing up, Karen? I saw your little picture on my phone. I don't know why it didn't show up on here. When I said,
But you put it on Facebook, that's why.
yeah.
Because this is giving permission from StreamYard just to use your name. So anything else you post, it's like somebody the other day gave me some money for, it might have been Mike, gave us money for the flat tire. Well, when it came up, when I looked at it, it didn't show it. It just said, this is for your tire. And I just wrote, okay. And I didn't know what it said. And somebody else wrote back and said, well, that's not very nice what you said for the guy that gave you $50 for a tire. So then when I went back and looked on my phone, it showed he had given us $50. And I was like, holy crap. So I went in and re-edited it, said, thanks for the money for the tire. If not, it didn't show up in my comments when I look under most of my videos. When I look at comments, I'm under the YouTube Studio and look at it. And for some reason, it didn't come up, which I don't know why. But
So where's that at? It says my Power Commander, my Power CO charge a demand charge. 12 amps at the same time for $4 per amp made it $48 service charge per month with the minimum service charge of 6 amps at $24 per month and a medium general.
is he charging a car?
I don't know.
Sounds like it.
Our daughter has one. She just goes up to the Target and plugs it in, runs inside for 20
Well, now
minutes.
she's got
drops.
a different car.
Yeah.
She's got a Audi or whatever now. They
Yeah.
don't have a Tesla no more.
Out at the river, we usually see coyotes.
Yeah.
Moto wants to know if Ralph works at the zoo. He's asking about all these animals. I love to ride in weather like that. That's why I wasn't afraid to ride home in that lightning storm. I know. Art likes the lightning.
Yeah. Well, you don't see it much when you live in California. You don't see, especially on the coastline, like where we were at. You really didn't see lightning very often, and it's very rare to see it. And so when he came through, because he stayed here and stayed here and stayed here, and I'm like, Art, you're gonna be in the middle of that storm. Just call in tomorrow sick. And he
The
wouldn't do it.
computer's sitting on it. I wanted to know where our barrel was.
Yeah.
It's right there.
That's the
in front of
table that's holding the computer up.
us. That's right.
And I even got a cutting board under it just in case the computer gets too hot. I don't want to burn my barrel.
Boys and their toys. That's right. So somebody else said hi. Daniel. Hey, Daniel.
So if you're on Facebook, if you click that little, like above it, it'll say give StreamYard permission to use your name. That's what they're using it for, is to let you put your name in the comments so we can actually see who you are on the YouTube side.
And that's why I have it pulled up always.
So what we're actually using this is StreamYard. See, if you see the little logo here, StreamYard lets us do that. And by letting them have the comments that you see here, StreamYard does this. YouTube don't do none of this crap. So this is all stuff that we can bring.
Something else we got to pay for.
Yeah. So we bring guests in and change the backgrounds and this thing. There's a lot of neat stuff. We pay another $20 a month for this to be able to have more features on. Usually if you watch some of our first lives, it actually had StreamYard had their logo up here. So once you pay, you get to put your logo up.
Yeah.
And behind us over here, that's our front door. And the light was shining through, so I put that. That's actually a blanket I bought a long time ago. One of our first trips to Sturgis. I don't think Art was with us, so I missed about that the first time. And one of
the church things.
Yeah, one of the
we ate breakfast at?
church. I can't stretch that far. Not this one, but the one next to it. It came off.
That
And
one.
I wanted a lady I used to work with. She said she did quilts, and when I said, "Well, can you do a T-shirt one for us?" She said, "That's almost T-shirt is the hardest thing to make a quilt out of because, like here, the lady I don't think she even sewn it on there. I think she glued it on there. Well, there's no thread.
I don't know.
Just like it was.
What you have to do is cut out the piece you want and then sew that piece on a piece of material and then quilt that.
Yeah.
Which
And they didn't do that to this.
So it's very delicate. You can't. It's hanging on there?
I got it stuck on the door.
I know, but I mean the
Yeah,
piece is hanging.
It's upside. If you put it upside down, all the words would be backwards, but you wouldn't see it anyways. You can't see it. But it's got dates from like 05.
Now out in California, there was coyotes everywhere. We lived in an apartment complex, and I was walking the dog one day. That was DJ, and I heard all this rustling in the bushes, and I looked over my shoulder, and there's 2 coyotes, and they're following us. And I just thought, luckily our dog didn't care about other animals, and she just walked along, and I just walked very slow back into the apartment and went in. But yeah, Bill said he said coyotes in his front yard. I haven't seen any walking around the streets.
Not here like we did in California. California, you've seen
California
a
was
lot. They were skinny as a rail.
Yeah.
We had a lot of green area, like where the power lines were at. It'd be all green. You'd see them running through there. And
I like to watch. We like the big old pelicans. Those look like prehistoric birds or whatever. If I ran my shop lights, electric dryer, hot water heater, and the air conditioner and kicked on sometime, it would be charged me 16-hour amps at $4 would be $72 on demand fee. But where do you live, Mike? That seems like they really do a weird way of charging them for electric, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't know how they charge electric.
well, so you look at there's
bill in the
different.
mail, you pay it.
Well, there's usually what they do with most places is you get, like when I worked for the gas company. So we had normally like during the summertime, you get more peak gas. So what you get, like, let's say you get 50 therms of gas at this price, $1 a therm. I'm just saying $1 a therm. And then once you get over that, then they're going to charge you $2 a therm. Then you get to that, then it's a higher rate. So in the summer, so the winter and the summer, that's how it floats back and forth, to where a lot of people don't realize, like a swimming pool, it could cost you anywhere from $5 to $8 an hour to run a pool heater. And people don't realize that it's 400,000 BTUs. It sucks a lot of gas. And so you look at a lot of the stuff like the garage. I talked to the guy that built the garage and was asking him, he said, well, what temperature do you think you're going to keep the garage during the summer? I said, probably about 85. I don't need it to be cool like in the house here, but even in the house here, we're only at 78 because it's 116 outside. Can't expect, some people are crazy at it. They think they're going to get down to 68 degrees. Well, you could, but you better get a big air conditioner.
Yeah.
So 85, I figured, that's not too bad. It was 90 out there this morning when I was working on the vehicle. So it's not too bad. So and he said, well, it's probably going to run you around $300 a month.
Michigan.
And that's just running the air conditioner. That's not counting running my compressor and running anything else that's going to be electric. But typically here at the house, even like we got a hot tub out back, it's electric one. I don't even notice it when it runs. I don't really see any difference in my electric bill other than when the kids come out. When the kids come out here, our electric gets higher. We got like a TV in every room. They turn all the fans on. They leave lights on all the time. So you got all that going on. And
Tony says he's got so much rain there, he thinks it's about building a big boat and start loading 2x2.
there you go.
Or you down, I think are you in Alabama, Arkansas? I want to say, I don't remember exactly where you are, but I know we've seen him before in Panama City.
So we'll put some videos up of highlights before Panama City and Oktoberfest starts. Show you some stuff from last year to get you guys kind of in the mood, thinking about it.
In the mood? You didn't tell him about our little friend at the garage.
I didn't post a picture of it.
Mm.
We have a renter already.
I don't think you're going to get much out of him.
Probably not. He'll eat the bugs.
74 there. He just put his bath on his pond 2 hours ago. Just took a bath in my pond.
74 degrees. That's kind of cool.
I don't know. It was getting rather cool already. Well, it was cold when we were out on the boat to get in the water. I bet you it was like,
I'd say it was in about 55 or 60. It was pretty cold. Well, the boat's been, the sun just eats everything up out here. I used to have a depth finder with told you the temperature and all that stuff, and the little thing broke off the back. I need to replace that. And now I see the whole thing broke off. It's stuck on the sides. So I got to get a whole new one of those. We need to do a new interior in the boat. I need new biminies. I need a new cover. I don't know. I'd like to just sell the stupid thing and be done with it. So we got to see what we're going to do.
oh, there's Neil.
Because we got to see
He's been here to stay on, so bye.
We do have the person we stayed with last year in Daytona. His wife does upholstery. So what we were going to do is cut a piece of the material off, see if she could find it. What we'd like to do is, our boat's a Crest, and it's 2004, and it still has the original interior in it. The guy we got it from kept it in the garage.
Yeah.
And we've had it about, I don't know, what, 5 years now, 6 years or something. Yeah. We've had the boat, and we don't really dig it out a lot either. Only had 200 hours on it when we bought it. Probably only got 400 hours on it now. And we put a new outdrive on it, and we've had just first 4 years I had no trouble at all with the boat, and after that it was all downhill. Something went wrong with it all the time. So at this point, it's a V8. It's got a 350 engine in it, so it's a nice boat to have out here on the water. It's got a big gas tank. We got 36 gallons of gas. You can go out all day long on it. You get a lot of people on it. I think you can get 14 people or something to get on this pontoon boat. We got a big deck in the front that's part of the boat you can sit out on, and then we've also got a swim deck on the back of the boat. It's got a barbecue on it. I took the barbecue off, but you can put it back on.
And it did have 2 chairs on it too in the back.
Yeah, and like fishing. I think the guy before did it.
And
bought
then
it for
it's
a fishing
got a
boat.
place to lay to suntan if you want a suntan.
A deck. And so
it's a nice boat.
It'd be a lot better now in the garage. And I put I forget what those are called. It's like a roll bar, but it's for skiing. I mainly bought it to mount speakers on it because to put a new radio in the stupid boat and change the speakers out was going to cost me way too much money. So I put that on it, made the boat look a lot better. It's all chromed and everything. And then I got 4 speakers hanging up there. And then we went out and bought, I think it was from JVC. It's just a Bluetooth thing. It goes through the phone. So, and then I have 2 more big, well, see what happened is we go to
the river.
The river, and there's these, there's a cove where everybody kind of hangs out. It's Pirates Cove. And yeah, a lot of people have kids. Somebody comes in there and starts cranking up F this, F that, F this, F that, and they turn up so freaking loud. You say something to them, oh, screw you, dude. So I went out and bought these big giant speakers to put on the front of the boat. Play a little Conway Twitty for them. They usually pull away after a while because my front one's on top, two shoot this way, two shoot out the back. Well, then when I put the big ones on, I can turn them any way I want. And
but you got to take them off before you start driving.
Because it vibrates and one fell off.
Bam! It's like, oh, goes the speaker. But they're waterproof. They're water.
They didn't get really much water in it.
No.
And we were able to pull
Hey, the Badgers are on. How you guys doing?
Oh, where the heck are you guys at? They're still on the road.
Are they?
On the road again. They were out for like 3 months. So
wow.
They
Where
started
you guys at?
They started right before Sturgis.
Mm-hmm.
They started right before Sturgis, I think a couple weeks before Sturgis, and then they rode up there. And I don't know where they're at, but they were 3 months on the road.
There you go. That's
on the road again.
We were 6 months, and that was
they were on their motorcycles. What they're doing, they're traveling all on their motorcycles. So that's. I don't know if you guys have a chase vehicle. Does somebody chase you around? And I know they've had some of their videos. They've had some issues with bikes and stuff while they've been on the road. That's the only thing. Now we've been, knock on wood, we've been very, very lucky. And all the times we've rode our bikes, we've really never had any real trouble with a bike on the road. I did have a flat tire.
In Big Sur.
Well, yeah, that wasn't our fault. But the first time I had a flat, that was the time when I was at
at
Mike's house. Oh yeah, we had the flat tire there too. I rode that. Did I ride it to work?
I think so. You must have been up there.
I rode it to the gas tower, splitting lanes, and came out and it was flat.
Wow.
And
ended up still 95 in Sturgis. But you said you were going to get the heck out of there. So they're in Missouri. What part of Missouri?
They're probably down. They're probably down by Lake of the Ozarks. That's supposed to be going on pretty soon.
Yeah, I bet you that's where they are, Lake of the Ozarks.
And we might do that again next year. Those are a couple rallies that are really kind of neat. Missouri's a really great place to do riding around too. Lake of the Ozarks is another really neat rally. I like Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. That's another one. I'd really like to spend more time there. We got to find some people.
There's one for sale down the street. A Ford Pinto. They said a Ford Pinto engine will improve your gas mileage.
Yeah,
it was gone when we went to go out on the boat. It was there when we came back.
The guy might have just dropped off and then came back and got it. It wasn't in the car lot. It's a little corner people put junk on.
1 a.m. comes early. All right. Good night, Karen. She has to get up at 1 a.m. Holy cow. No chase vehicles, just us 2 bikes and luggage. Yeah.
Oh, so your daughters aren't riding with you this time?
One daughter.
Oh, they only have one daughter.
I think so. Good night, Karen.
So yeah.
Jefferson City, Lake of the Ozarks next week. Okay.
Yeah. And I'd like to go to that. It was a lot of fun when we went last time. What we have to find in those 2 locations is we got to find somebody that will put us up. Someplace where we can put the trailer at, because just like they probably see the same thing too. It's tough. You've got to go out and spend money every night for motels and all that stuff. Now they got a sponsor. We're working on getting us a sponsor.
Well, I think at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, they stayed at somebody's house. I don't know if it was a subscriber or a relative or a friend. Yeah. I remember them saying that they kind of got to sleep in a real bed in a real house. And so I think it was,
We're working on getting a sponsor. She actually got half a letter done. And
it's all done. I'm just waiting for letters to come in to send out.
Yeah. So we actually should talk to the Badgers about
Conway Twitty.
We used to be DJs. Many years ago, I had a DJ company we owned and got really big in it until 9/11 came. In Midwest, people thought the world was going to end.
September, yeah.
And so it's pretty neat, and it'd be neat. I don't know if I'd want to be, which we were on the road since February. We just got home a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we've been on the road a lot.
6 months.
Bouncing around from rally to rally. And it's hard to say. It's what's the problem I've got is she can't ride that much anymore. If Art would ever retire, I wanted to do a bunch of riding with him. I want to do a Route 66, and we've already done California. Starting from where we're at here in Arizona, going east, and we'd only go to St. Louis. I don't need to go to Chicago. They ain't nothing on Route 66 going up to Illinois. Believe me, because we live there.
Yeah,
ain't nothing there to see.
Mike says he's from fire scared North California. Rod's on. Hey, that's who we stayed with in Laconia with Rod.
And that was pretty neat. And Laconia's not too bad, but it's just that was bad. For us, it's 50 miles each way. It helped put us a lot of miles on our bike this year. I think while we were up there, we drove about 1,200 or 1,300 miles, but every day we rode 100 miles back and forth into town. But it was nice because we were up there by all the riding up north, and we did a lot of rides. That's probably the first rally we've ever done that much riding during a rally. Yeah, during a rally.
Yeah.
Well, usually in Sturgis, we do our main rides, and that's it. This year we rode a little. Well, we got there so early this year. Now next year we won't be because we got Milwaukee down. So we're not going to be getting into Sturgis till probably about a week before
Maybe 2
pre-rally.
weeks. Like June 19th or July 19th, we'll get there. Badger said they were going to go to Thunder in the Smokies this weekend, but they've got flooding and a ton of rain, so they skipped it.
So you
Smart
guys,
move.
yeah, you guys are probably hitting a lot of rain.
Yeah.
It's been some weird weather this year.
All
And,
over the country. It's been nuts.
Another YouTuber's out in Vegas, and that's what he was writing. He was like, I got to find
a pontoon party boat.
Yeah, we got a big pontoon party boat.
Stay with the owners of the Switchback Bar in Eureka. Okay, I remembered you guys saying something like that, but I couldn't remember who you said.
Because I know the, what's the guy, Mike, that owns
Jeff, I think.
Jeff, that's it, Jeff.
In the cat house. And
he said he would try to work something out too, and which is kind of nice, being that that's a lot closer now to Rogers. And I'd really like to be down there this year for Rogers, having their thing, and see how that turns out and how it grows. I think we could get a good communication with Rogers. I like dealing with these cities that want bikes. You know, they want the bikers to be there. And so that's one of the reasons I like it when the city wants to take something over like that. We're going to spend a little more time this year when we go down to Florida with Ormond Beach. Really, that's where the rally's at. And screw downtown. And you're going to find out when you guys go down there this October, they've already taken over some of the buildings the city has. They're not going to allow vendors on the property. And one of them is the big one there, last building that allowed vendors in the parking lot out there. No more. City bought it last year after the rally was over, this year before the rally was over.
So the Badger says next summer they're doing a huge 66 ride, and they're going to have about 150 riders. You can go with them.
Let's be about going the wrong way. We're going to be going from the West Coast heading
They're
east.
Probably going
They're
from
probably going to the East Coast coming this
west.
way.
Why are Ralph's looking for big fish or snakes? Pamoda wants to know why he's looking. Y'all need to go to Georgia, Tony. Is that where you're at, Tony? Georgia?
We've
That's
been
where
to
one of
Georgia.
our son-in-laws are from.
We've been to Georgia a couple times. This last time we went all the way up the coast of Georgia. So Georgia's okay. It's
114 in Sacramento. Ooh, it's almost as hot as it is here.
Yeah, probably about as hot.
Just dropped. Where are you living now? We are in Bullhead City, Arizona.
We have two places. We have Bullhead City, Arizona. We have residency at, and we also have a residency in Sturgis. So we're actually South Dakotians. And the reason we can do that is because here in Arizona, as long as you don't live in your house more than 6 months of the year, you can have another main residency. So right now we are licensed in South Dakota. We vote in South Dakota. And South Dakota, they just want more people so they get more federal money because they only have less than 1 million people there. But there you only have to live 1 day every 5 years.
All right, and go back to work.
Art's got to go back to work.
Yeah, he said he just got a page. He's got to go. He said that Jeff said he was going to do a YouTuber house. Jeff is great. We had a YouTuber house last spring.
And it'd be kind of neat. It's kind of like, I wouldn't mind even going back down the Adam Sandoval's thing, but see, it's like this year he's got
he's getting married.
Yeah,
is it
September?
No, it is.
Maybe it's
the 10th. Today's what? The
it's
5th,
probably this
6th?
weekend.
Probably this weekend coming up. Yeah.
But he's gotten to where it's too many YouTubers are coming. So if you're coming just to have a good time, then that's great. It's great to socialize with all you different YouTubers, and it's really great. But if you're going there to get coverage, to do something with that video, it's just too much out there. And I see the same thing with Sturgis here. There's a lot of people that put stuff out on Sturgis that just aren't getting any kind of views at all. But there's probably 50 people that are putting out stuff on Sturgis. And it's just, people just don't have that much time to watch all that stuff. And we suffer probably. That's probably why we're down in the money from this year compared to last year's. Because last year there wasn't quite so many. And a lot of people might look at us and think, oh, wow, they're making so much money. And you talk to the Badgers. They don't make a lot of money on their YouTube. They make, by having a sponsor or something like that, that's kind of what we're looking for.
And we didn't realize it, but they started on Facebook. And I think Facebook pays even better than YouTube does. So.
The Facebook, we've got the big group that we have. It's got 31,000. And when I look on it, it looks like they want you to sell T-shirts on it. They want you to sell advertising. It looks like they want you to do all that work. And it doesn't look like they do anything.
Yeah. So they said they're going to go from California to Chicago.
Okay.
Next day after it ends, they'll be at the 120th Harley party in Milwaukee. So I guess once they get to Chicago, then the next day they're going to go to Milwaukee. And then that'll be the 120th party for Harley Davidson.
Okay. That's pretty neat. Would be us because we're going to be pulling the trailer up there.
Yeah.
And but we won't be
So
going down
Timmy
Route
said go. He
66.
said good night. Glad Bob and Tam are home safe. See you on the road.
I don't know which way we go. We might take the 40 to go back. It depends if we decide to go through and see relatives back in St. Louis area, things like that.
I know that's what I told his sister. She wanted to know because they just got a puppy, so they were supposed to come out this fall or around Labor Day. They thought now they got a puppy, they're not going to come. So she said, "You guys come out here." So I told her maybe when we go up to Milwaukee, we could go that way and stop there a couple.
Because we're pretty much going to do Daytona. We're probably so I'm thinking about leaving Charlie at home, and not at home, but I say with our daughter. He fends for himself.
Yeah.
He's pretty good about opening the dog food bag and eating what he needs to
Only
eat.
takes what he needs.
Work the refrigerator to get a drink when he needs it. Squeeze out the back door when he has to take a dump. And just need somebody come. Have to pay for the doggy dumper guy to come pick it up. Charlie don't know how to pick up his own stuff.
Oh, Badgers are gonna be at Stubborn American.
Okay. And I would. And Adam's got a great show going on there.
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
people.
good.
It's a lot of fun. Internet sucks, but but see, a lot of them they don't necessarily. A lot of the other most YouTubers don't post like we do. And so a lot of them will do like a wrap-up video, like what you see on Sturgis now. There's a lot of people putting the Sturgis videos out that they made. They filmed while they were there, and now they're putting them up. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to do what we do, because we want to show what's going on now, not that happened. And we do have some videos that I got a lot of videos that we're still got video to do. Different rides, a lot of rides and stuff. But some of them I'm going to fix them up for next year. And because we're starting a whole different. We're already starting. If you watch, we're already starting our YouTube. Our Sturgis videos are already starting. We're already starting to talk about Sturgis already. I just had the video came up yesterday, which was about should I take my trailer or should I ride my bike to Sturgis? And that video came up, and then we got a couple more coming up. Probably one more this week is going to come up about thinking about Sturgis. Because this year we had a lot of newbies come. A lot of newbies came this year. That was really shocking, and which is good. If you're a new person, that's really the best time to go to Sturgis is before an anniversary. An anniversary is like the 80th, the 85th, the 75th, the 70th. Anything that ends in a 0 or ends in a 5 is considered a big anniversary day. And that's usually when you see more of a crowd. Our first one we ever went to was like the, 69th or something, I think we went to. And there wasn't hardly nobody there, just like the 74th. We were there for the 74th. And it was kind of like this year, maybe a little less people. And it was really nice to go to something that's not so crowded. You're able to, and some people say that, oh, it's not the crowd that you want. Do you really want it that packed? No, go down to New York City and stand around downtown. You'll see what crowds are like.
They're good at Disneyland.
But I mean, I like to be able to go and within 5 or 10 minutes, I can get a seat in a restaurant if we're going to stop and eat. I don't want to have to sit outside for a couple hours, or who knows when you'll ever get in there to eat.
Social media ads are small pay scale considering sponsors. That's where the money's at. So
that's what we're looking at now. We got a couple of people we're talking to right now about sponsorships, and what we're trying to do is kind of similar to what the Badgers do. Get somebody that's not necessarily a vendor, because what's bad about a vendor, it's like I always tell people, if I got Vance and Hines to sponsor us, well, then I really couldn't talk about any other exhaust, because and they even have their own tuner. Will they let me talk? And so I don't want.
Kids want to be limited.
Yes. I want to be able to still do what we do, but get paid more for doing it, but promote what they do. And so I think that's really a better way to go versus selling stuff all the time and relying on making 10% on a product, and if you believe in it or not. So it's like I said, somebody asked us the other day about the Dakota gauges. Oh, where's your link so we can get you something for it? No, we don't get anything for it. I got a free set of gauges, got them installed for free. That's what we got out of this. And for me, that's what I'd rather do.
And then he gets to tell his honest opinion, what he thinks of them, and he really likes.
And once the garage gets going, we are going to do some install jobs, and we will do some stuff, but not necessarily anything that I want. We're going to have, even if you're in this area, you're out here in Arizona coming through, you want something from Ciro or some of these other companies, you can call us and we'll get them. We have to do an install video, got to talk about them. And what you have to do is you have to go on camera and say why you want the product. What's your benefit? Why did you want it?
And then come back and tell us how you like it.
Yeah. And so one guy's across the street, he's got a brand new Harley, he bought a 22 Street Glide. And so he wants to get some lights and stuff. We're going to get some lights for him and do a video on that. And so it'll be kind of neat, but there's so many people out here that are just pushing products every day. You got a video, sponsored by, and they got a 10% off link. Well, I think, which I get all this junk too. Somebody wanted us some crap on Amazon, some kind of cheap Chinese bags that put on the front of your bike, right above the fender. Oh, I'll send you a bunch of them for free if you do a video on them.
Bob and Sam Daytona brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue. That's the lady that was sucking on the chicken bone.
I'll say that wouldn't be a bad sponsorship. We got Buc-ee's. Maybe Buc-ee's wants to sponsor us.
Only if they give me a credit card.
We're always sponsoring
Yes,
Buc-ee's at every rally.
time.
So
Every time
they
we
ain't
do
giving
a
us
video.
crap. We might need to talk to Buc-ee's.
I don't know.
We're in Florida a lot, so we'll work on these two that we're working on. First one, she's the only one we're working on at the moment. We have the other one. We got their contact information in Sturgis, and we're going to talk to them. And they actually have something, which I don't want to say too much. I don't want somebody else. I think I might talk about something. Somebody does what I want to do.
He's done that his whole life. He always thinks, "Oh, this is a great idea."
Angie's List. I talked about Angie's List
When
probably
we moved
15,
to California.
Yeah, over 20 years ago. I talked about an Angie List. I said, wouldn't it be great to have an access to where we get people to recommend businesses that they have done, a plumber, electrician, and all this stuff, and write reviews on them, and have people pay to get that information. Well, then about 5-6 years later, here comes
It
Angie's
wasn't even
List.
that long. I think it was like a year or two later.
But I talk about that. Well, we used to have a real good cheap place here to store your boat during the water weekends, and they went from $15 to $30 now, and probably because I talked about it all the time. Told everybody. Well,
I told you not to tell.
and so now we're not telling you who our sponsors are going to be. If we get them, maybe we won't even get them. Don't know.
Don't know.
And so that's what's going to
Just
depend
throw
on.
it out there and see what we
That's right.
catch.
And but see, originally we went when we started our channel. We said we didn't want anybody to sponsor us because we didn't want to be able to be manipulated. I see, just like Adam, he got told that he couldn't, not Amsoil, but Adam Sandoval. He got in trouble with Harley Davidson because he didn't do what he wanted. The million mile guy said some stuff he shouldn't have said, and he lost his bid with them. But I mean, it happens a lot to where these companies are looking, not just the video you're doing for them, they're looking at everything you're doing, thinking that's going to reflect on them. And I know with this one company, because they're actually sponsoring somebody else, not a YouTuber, it's sponsoring another business, and they're kind of particular about some items they don't want to see on your channel anymore. Well, if you're paying me a big chunk of money, I don't need to put those items on my channel because that's something we try to put on to attract attention. So I don't necessarily need that. But we've been growing pretty good. We're, we broke that 20,000. We're about 20,050 now. So we're actually gaining some really good subscribers, and that's great. I'm glad we're really growing. And, maybe we'll start off here like the Monkey Man last year. He, within 6 months or something, or a year, he grew from, 15,000 to 75,000 he's got now. So I think he grew in about 4 or 5 months.
They're listening to your ideas through Alexa.
Grew 30, what?
And Mark says they're listening. Alexa's listening to our ideas. But you know what? Charlie is at my daughter's house.
Requested. For over 90 million.
I'm not talking to you, Alexa.
Say try Amazon Music Unlimited.
No thanks. No thanks. Alexa.
Amazon Music.
Alexa, no. She wants to play some music first.
Oh.
I'm gonna refill my home.
But our daughter's got Charlie, and she says he's really anxious and stuff. So we were talking about it this morning. Well, after we get off the phone, a few minutes later, I get a text and it says, "Try this new stress relief for your dog. This is a new pill that you can try." And I'm like, really? So yeah, they're listening to you all the time. That's for sure.
If you don't know that, it's something wrong.
I know. So anyway, they're always listening. Mike G and Sturgis brought home Monument City. Oh wait, apparently I'm sponsoring them. There you go, Mike. Poor Mike. Adam Sandoval was offered a new contract with HD. He would not have allowed it to be seen sitting or riding on any other brand of motorcycle other than Harley Davidson's. Yeah, and he's got a ton of motorcycles now.
Well, see, I think a lot of that.
Indian.
I think a lot of the stuff he's gotten to a level that he gets a lot of stuff for free. So I would say a lot of those motorcycles that he's riding is the dealer or the Indian dealer's giving him those bikes. Now I don't know for sure, but I'm just betting money because he's always riding all these different bikes, and it's It's once you get to a certain level, like him, he's actually going back to old school. He's actually going back. He lost a lot of subscribers over the last year or so because he was riding an Indian and he's doing all these four-wheel drive. Well, you lose. What you have is just like what we talk about here. We have a certain people here that expect us to talk about rallies all the time, and that's our audience. Well, Adam, he started out doing motorcycle riding. He was riding across the country and breaking world records and visiting all the Harley dealers. And now if you go to his Facebook page, and he's bringing back a lot of those clips and showing you, he showed a bunch of, he showed one the other day. That was his first time him and Scooter were on the road, eating off the side of the road. And he's talking about that stuff because what they always say is if your channel starts doing something you don't like, go back to what you started with, because that's what brought your interest to you. Like in Sturgis next year, we're going to have to go back and do what we did last year in Sturgis for this year coming up in Sturgis for 2023 if I want to get the views that I want to get. And I think we're going to do that with what we're planning on doing. We're not going to have a problem with that, but we're doing it at a different angle at it. And so it's I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And Adam's a great guy. We met him and we talked to him off and on. And but he's going, and that's the problem. Even like here, when I test rode some Indians, I get a few people commenting, "What are you riding that Indian for?" I don't own one. Not saying I would never not own a bike. There's a few bikes I have no interest in. I don't like the way they look. But that's my opinion. I don't really. But like if we have the International Motorcycle Show come out that me and Art went to last year, I told Art the other day that, hey, I want to do all 3 days there, and all we're going to do is ride every freaking bike they've got there.
Thanks for hanging out.
That's going to be the whole thing, and to talk about some of these bikes I've never been on, and I've rode a lot of bikes, but not a lot of bikes. There's a million probably different kinds of bikes out here in the world, different models and different styles and different companies and all this stuff. And I've rode the major ones. I've rode a Yamaha and a Kawasaki and a Hondas and Harleys and the Triumph. We've rode some Triumphs now. And I've rode a few Indians. I never had rode an Indian until we got into doing this.
There you go. Terry said he'll be our Indian correspondent.
There you go. But it's always great to have, there's nothing. All bikes are good bikes. I don't really care for the new BMWs
with wind therapy.
When they got the engine sitting out sideways like that. I don't even know if I want to ride one of those things.
It just looks funky, but
yeah. But I mean, I guess it's old school the way they started out. They're doing that style, and because I got a friend that rides BMWs, but he's got more of the fiberglass touring bike is what he's got, and he's always been a BMW rider. He's been riding them for, I guess,
didn't he have a Goldwing?
Yeah, I think originally he had Hondas too that he rode. I don't know.
You're getting your Boss Hoss.
No, I wouldn't own a Boss. But nothing wrong with Boss Hoss. To me, it's just too much bike. And I think they're pretty neat bikes. We're going to probably do a tour with them next year. That's one of our stops that we like to make and go through go through the factory. And he said he'd show us a lot of neat stuff. And they're neat. Yeah, there's a lot of people like them.
That's what we're going to maybe do this spring. Go do a bunch of different plants and not vendors really. They're like
some are manufacturers.
Yeah.
And so we got also some chopper people, because a lot of people have asked us that, why don't you do more motorcycle builders? Well, one, we don't know a lot of motorcycle builders, and like I said, there's a bunch of them in Sturgis out there. There's one that does all Rod's work, and if we could get with Rod ahead of time, he would probably call out there and get us a good interview with the guy. And
Ralph says you meet the nicest people on a Honda. He's got a Honda Goldwing trike.
Yeah, well, actually, you meet a lot of good people on any kind of motorcycle. Yeah. Most people, that's why I said it's kind of like the guy that's on our 31,000 group YouTube page. He's actually, when I went into his personal pictures, he's actually a 1%er. And he's the one that put the thing up about you're either a biker or you're a yuppie. And that's just what he believes. You don't ride your bike, you're a yuppie. That's just the way his philosophy is, which is, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and it's great. That's one of the reasons we made the video that we did. The clip that I have is what he put on there. He made that clip up that he put on there, and that's what's in the background of our thumbnail. And so I just
wanted he does Triumphs. That's his bike of choice. He likes Triumphs.
And so there's a lot of different people out here that have, Pawamoto, he's got his style of bike that he rides. He's got the crotch rockets and all that. And it's just.
Mike wanted to know if anybody rides a Moto Guzzo. I can't say that.
I've seen some. There were some out in Sturgis this year. I've seen them off and on. There's a one of the dealers out here in California because I see a lot of
He
them in
got those long
California.
legs. He said the BMW foot position wouldn't work for him.
I don't know. I've never even sat on one. I looked at them when they came out with them last year. They had a whole their new model, and I looked at it. It was like, I don't know.
That's right, Pow Moto.
But-
He says all bikes have 2 wheels and 1 motor. Take your pick and ride out.
That's right. And it is, and it's like some people have to get trikes, and just like a guy that's on the video that I put up, he talks about that in the comments that he's been riding a motorcycle forever. His wife ended up having to get a trike last year, and now he's thinking that's the only way he's going to be able to ride to Sturgis is on a trike. He just isn't going to be able, he's been doing it for 60 years, been riding a motorcycle.
Right now we're at our Arizona house and it's 116 degrees.
It was. Probably not anymore.
No, it's still pretty hot out there though, I bet. So he says, greetings from Minnesota. Don't know where you live. Greetings from Minnesota.
108. 108
Cool
around
down.
7 o'clock.
Yep. Is it
8
7?
degrees. Almost.
Oops. Where'd I
Way
go?
behind.
No? I guess I'm on my last one. That was right there. Yep.
So that's kind of the lowdown. What's going on is Thursday night, we're going to do a meet and greet. Wow, where are they going to do a meet and greet at? Out here in our front yard. No, we're going to be up in Las Vegas, and we're going to Twin Peaks. Going to be there around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
4 o'clock we're going to eat. 5 o'clock
Pacific time, because that's what time it is in Vegas. It'll be 5 o'clock there. So it'll be the same time we normally do it. If you're Neil, it's 4 o'clock. If you're in Mountain Time, it's 6 o'clock. Central Time, 7 o'clock. And over there on the east side of town, it'll be 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So,
East side of town, east side of the country.
Yeah, east side of
The
town.
bikes look
across
like 2
town.
giant turtle heads coming out. It's ugly as they can get. I know. Everybody has their own cup of tea. So I saw a really old guy put into a local Harley Davidson bike night on a Goldwing. He had training wheels on it. He put it down just before he parked it. How if it had training
No,
wheels?
I've seen that where they. Remember you've seen
That's
those
what I wanted for me.
when she first started.
Well, no, because if they would come down when
What it
I
did is it
stopped.
didn't come all the way to the ground. It just stops you from
No.
going too far over.
Well, see, that's all I need. So go just in case I can't feel my feet. I won't tump over. Won't be like Humpty Dumpty.
She's like that old lady. She needs that life.
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Roadkill says he likes Twin Peaks. Roadkill Ron.
Yeah, we had a lot of people like that. So we did that.
Yep.
We had a couple of nights we've done the videos there, and we're going to try to do one this Thursday. That's the plan. They're open till 2 a.m., so we should have no trouble putting a video out.
You could get a chopper at the Mecum auction. Ralph says these choppers are 80s and 90s. They can't give them away now. I'll have to
I don't
look and
know.
see.
Don't know what I do
Which
with the
rally you
chopper.
guys going to next?
Daytona Spring Rally Bike Week. Right now, that's the next rally, unless something happens between now and then. One, we're trying to get the garage all done, trying to get the electric and all the stuff done. I would really like to get the shop part built. I'd like to get the lift put in there. I'd like to get the lighting all set up. I'd like to get it all painted. Just don't have a lot of time to do that. Like now, we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. And
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what. When he wanted to do that garage out there, it was like 3 days because we had to get it done. You don't
3
remember
days for
that?
what? Oh yeah, I work hard.
Trying to kill me. Better than a slingshot. Hey, Two Wheel and Tom, how you doing? And I looked putting little wheels on my snowmobile skis for riding the road or maneuvering at gas pumps and parking lots. I know sometimes it's scary. Or chat, that too.
First time she dropped the bike was in chat.
I don't like that. It's like turning left. I don't like to turn left either. I'll turn right and go down 8 blocks and turn around to come back. Don't like to turn left unless there's a light.
Can't turn right and then you went this way again left. Would
Well,
be
you do
making a
because you
bunch of
have to
rights?
go. You have to turn right, and
You're talking
then I
about on a
can
major
turn right.
highway.
Any kind of road that's got a lot of traffic on it.
That's what it
That's
is.
how I
You
had my
gotta
first wreck, and it wasn't even in my car. I wrecked some other kid's car.
Not my car.
No, it wasn't it. It was another guy. But
Harry the farmer.
no, it wasn't.
Has
It
he
was-
been coming on here, farmer?
No, he was on last live,
Last
not
live.
this live. No, it wasn't. It was Steve Johnson.
Because Harry Farmer asked when we met him, he's like, Why does Bob always roll his eyes every time we talk about that?
Because it's called, his name is Hair Farmer, but when I see it, I think Harry the Farmer.
There used to be a guy she dated before me, and this guy that belonged to FAA, Future
Farmers
This is
of
FFA.
America.
We called it something else. And so he had this truck and it was all jacked up.
Oh, there you go. Mike says he gets back. He'll come back Monday and help you epoxy the floor. Not this Monday because we're going up to Washington State and we'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I'll call you and say, we're back. Are you free?
And figured 2 days. 1 day to acid wash the floor and rinse it all off and then let it sit till it dries. And then the next day do the epoxy. And then I might clear coat it too because somebody else said you should clear coat it to keep the sparkles in it because you're throwing them on top. So there's nothing to protect them. So I haven't looked into the clear coating part yet. But
Yes, we've been to Cook's Corner. Talk about yuppies. I don't know. I had a doctor. She was old as dirt, tall, skinny, and she used to go to Cook's Corner almost every weekend. Dr. Harrison?
well, the worst place is when we were in Corona, everybody went out to Tom's Farms and they would ride 5
Hell's
miles.
Kitchen. You ever been to Hell's Kitchen on 70?
I don't know if the Hell's Kitchen's even still there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, B, how you doing?
We've been to some biker bars.
Well, we never really lived in Irvine. We lived on Irvine Boulevard. We lived in the Tustin side.
We
Not
lived in
the Irvine
Tustin.
side.
We lived in Orange Park Acres. We lived in Yorba Linda. We lived in Corona. Hell's Kitchen, biker bar.
The CBO tracks are pretty bad. Going to San
Hell's,
Chulo.
nope, Hell's Kitchen is permanently closed.
I think they closed up during COVID and they never real. It might have been before that
I think
too.
it's before that.
Personally, I have no
So
problem
they
going
had a
to free.
Facebook page. Let's see what the Facebook page
So yeah, I don't know. That's what he always talks about. He doesn't know how much longer. I mean, because you get older, you're not as stable, you're not as quick. It gets scary sometimes. Doing good. AB. That's how long we've been on. 1 hour and 46 minutes.
So it looks like Hell's Kitchen does do some events out there, but they're not officially open yet.
So that's right up. You go through Lake Elsinore and up
And then the
to
one that's
76.
what's the one that's up on Mulholland Drive? The Stone.
Stonehouse.
Is that what it's called? Stonehouse.
The Rock House. Rock House?
Rock House. Rock House on Mulholland Drive. Yep. No, like Rock House. No, it must not be the Rock House. Rock Store. Maybe it's Rock Store.
Rock store.
Rock Store on Mulholland Drive.
So.
Yep, that's what it's called, the Rock Store. It's just closed now. It opens tomorrow morning at 9. No, it doesn't open until Friday. They're only open on the weekends now.
It's over.
That's a really neat place. If you ever go out there, a lot of times on the weekends you go out there. We've seen Jay Leno and all kinds of people go out there. That's a really neat biker bar. What?
And he said, well, no, I guess he's talking about epoxy in the floor. He says, I knew a man once at one time said he ran his whole house. I'm like, wow. I went over there and he wasn't lying. He did a mop, back, broom, dish.
Unless he put it down with a mop and it swirls in it.
I don't know. I used to do Tustin Avenue work at Tidy Didy. I don't remember that. I used to live on Tustin Avenue.
Oh, we did too. What was your address on Tustin Avenue?
No, we lived on Robinson.
We're almost the last light before you got to Irvine Boulevard.
No, Jamboree. And then when we moved basically across the street, we were on Irvine Boulevard and Jamboree. We were right there on that corner. But the first place we lived on was on Robinson. That was, what was that little street that went around though? I guess that was Robinson. Anyway, did you ever go to Neptune's Net in Malibu?
No, we drove past there a bunch of times, but it's usually crowded. And no, so we never have stopped at Neptune's. Drove past it.
He says, Alexa's right next to you. You're getting on your phone. We don't like Alexa.
No, we ain't saying anything that
she's a pain.
We don't say anything that I don't care she hears.
Yep. Fireblades. Ralph, come through with your gold wing. I'll just pick you up on a CBR 1000 RR Fireblade. That would be a ride. Is there not even a back seat on those? Is there? I've seen some of those girls, and the seats are like this big, and they're
big old booty.
And their feet are like on 2 little screws that are sticking out on the side, and they're like hanging on for dear life. I wouldn't like that. when I got my street glide, before he put a sissy bar on the back, I think we went up to Utah. We were at St. George, and he's like, "We'll just take your bike. We'll go get something to eat." And oh my gosh, I will never ride on a bike without a
Afraid
sissy
she's gonna
bar.
fly off.
It was like, "Eee." I thought
Pull
I
me
was gonna
off.
die. Kiwi and Twerp, you mentioned in an earlier live that you were gonna go to Las Vegas Bike Fest. Do you know if there's anything happening at the end of September?
What we're hearing is no. Now we'll find out a little more when we get there Thursday. We'll probably run. We're gonna go up to Las Vegas early on Thursday morning, and we'll run around and try to get. We just got to see if we can drop all of our luggage off at our house. So we'll be in the truck.
Yeah.
And run around Vegas and try to get some things lined up with all the dealers and see what's going on. But at this moment, unless they pull something out of the hat, we've heard rumors now, just rumors, not from anybody officially, that they're done. They're never going to have another one there. So I don't know. What happens with a lot of these is these stupid promoters that take these things over. So I don't know. See, the Vegas dealerships are all owned by the same person. Henderson, Red Rock, and Las Vegas Strip is all owned by the same guy. I'm going to try to talk them into doing their own event and screw the city and the vendor or whoever the heck that does it down there. So,
yep.
But at this moment, we don't know anything else that's going on, but we'll find out. We're meeting with the Henderson in the afternoon, and then we'll get out to Red Rock and talk to him because he's the guy we've done a bunch of videos with them, and he wants to help us out and stuff. So we'll talk with him and see what he's got to say.
Kiwi and Twerp said that they'll be there the September 25th. Hopefully we can meet up with you.
Where?
We'll be back on the 22nd.
Where? Oh,
in Vegas, I guess. Oh. Are you going to be in Vegas? I'm assuming that's where they're going to be. Or if you're going to be out here in Bullhead City, we'll be back by then.
A lot of people come out here to Laughlin, and normally we're not around much, but this winter we'll be around most of it until we leave to Daytona. We do take side trips, like we're actually looking to maybe fly into fly into Sturgis in October. And so that's something we still got to make a decision here pretty quick before airline tickets go up too high again.
Yeah, so we take the rental car back on the 22nd.
So where's yes to?
I'm assuming Vegas. I don't know. So right, Vegas or Bullhead? You said yes. I asked both. I don't know. These double R's will rip your arms off and melt you into the sun much. Yeah, I don't know. Those bikes sounds too fast for me. Palmetto said that bike does 185 top end. Fastest I went on my bike was probably about 98. We were coming back because my kids told me they were leaving and moving to Georgia, and I was getting back before they were leaving. That's the day we did 609 miles in one day. And I still didn't get an iron butt patch for that. You already know. It flies. Yep. We're talking Vegas. Okay. So yeah, we'll be there the 22nd. I don't know if we're going to stay any longer than that.
I don't know. You have to let us know. We could come up for the day. That's not that far from where we're at. I don't even know if that's a weekend or what. Well, I guess the 22nd would be Thursday. 23rd, 24th. That might be Sunday, the 25th.
Maybe they're getting there on the 25th. I don't know how long they're going to be there. Yeah, 25th on Sunday. Okay. So yeah, let us know, Kiwi and Trip. Here's where's this at? Banners.
Email.
Is that it?
I don't know. I can't see that.
I can't see either. I got
your eyeballs on.
No, that's Patreon. Oh, that makes it worse. These must be your glasses.
They're brown. They're yours.
I don't know. Does this go up or down?
You just keep clicking on each one until you see it open up down at the bottom.
One. There.
Yeah.
Email us your contact information, and then we can work something out. We'll have to see. Or you can come down and help out with the garage.
Everybody wants to come down and have a party.
Yeah. We'll buy the pizza and beer. You guys come down and help. So, Kiwi and Twerp, email us. Have you and Bob been through
Maggie Valley? No, we have not done Maggie Valley. That's something we were looking to do next spring if it all works out right. Because I wanted to go out there. There's some of the waterfalls and stuff. I really think it'd be a neat ride, be fun to do. And so that's on my list of things to do. But we have to see how time allows. Normally, what happens with most of the time is we're traveling and we have a destination to get to. So
A rally. We have to be there by a certain day because it starts. And
so we don't usually end up having a lot of time. And that's the bad thing about us doing the rallies that we do. So that's why this year we were already planning on doing different this year anyway, next year, 2023. We were going to do Galveston and we were probably going to go to Mexico. We still might do Mexico. There's a few people saying they want to go down to Mexico.
it's not happening.
And if you want to go to Mexico, let us know. We'll be happy to go meet you down there. But we need to know just so she can tell her cousin to stay, have a place for us to stay. And if you want a place to stay down there, if you haven't found your own, let us know and we can see if we can find you a place. Can't stay with her cousin because she only had the extra bedroom. She has all of her kids down at the same time when we're down there. So they already have a house full. So they always invite us.
I know it's funny because she always says, I always invite everybody to come out. Nobody ever shows up. Well, the weekend we came out,
Everybody showed
one
up.
of her friends came out, both of her daughters came down, and it was like it was a house full. She's like, I've always wanted this. No one ever comes. And she says, now this weekend, everybody decides to come. So anyway, she had a full house. So Al said he used to have 2 Buells too. Rally at the garage is going to happen. There we go. We'll have to have it so it's nice and cool. Maybe when they have I don't know if we'll be
We'd have
home
to do
by
it in
then.
January.
Then it's so darn windy. It's either, that's why I said we have 2 seasons out here in Bullhead. We have hot and windy. That's it. Watching the way before you hit Mexico. We went to Mexico last year. It was really nice.
And we did, which was really neat. It was a really good rally. It was just a real party type atmosphere. There's a couple people who've been asking me to have more video of it, and I haven't gone back to see if I can find any more footage of anything that I didn't put up. But there wasn't a lot of events going on. They have a bike show and they had a parade that they do. That's it. They don't really have any real vendors. They got a couple people selling leathers and things like that, but it's not, there's nobody working on bikes, nobody selling tires, nobody doing any of that stuff like that down there. It's more of that's like I said, if you've ever been to Bourbon Street.
Chiclets, they were selling chiclets.
If you want to go to Bourbon Street in New Orleans, you've ever been there, it's like that, but on motorcycles. And it looks like a really fun, like I said, we spent a couple days. The idea would be to go down on this one little road that they have downtown and just party on it the whole weekend. And
well, there was one big bar we wanted to go to, and they went. My cousins went to it that night, but we were going to leave the next morning, and he went to get a video out, and so we didn't go with them. But that was like the party place.
Yeah, and they had a whole bunch of stuff going on there, and wet T-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And
they took the kids.
Yeah.
I think Harley spent 125 million and shot down Buell because they were jealous. They sold responsible prices. They took no huge profit margins, as the HD did. Some say Buell was a R&D. I can't remember what.
So talking about Harley Davidson, how many of you people really like that new retro bike that they put out?
What was the name of it? I remember it, but I don't remember the name.
And well, some of the people said when that bike was out in its debut,
everybody down there wore their colors.
Wasn't very popular bike to start with. It wasn't a hot seller. I always think that it would be good to come back with a Springer, but same thing. Springer wasn't a big bike at that time, but I think people would be interested in buying them now. That it'd be a neat bike to ride around on and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know. This one here, that is $27,000, and they're all going to be asking a lot more than that for it. I don't know.
We've got 6 casinos across the river that probably has enough motel rooms if we do a rally.
Oh yeah.
That's what
they used to do a rally here. They used to do the Laughlin River Run.
Yeah, I know. But I mean.
So yeah, there's plenty of places here. We got a lot of great riding to do. But we'd almost have to do something in January here. So a lot of you that are coming from
rider El Dabla.
Yeah, that's it. And
that means devil in Spanish.
I just that bike did nothing for me. I like the Street Glide that they came out with last year. I think that was a really neat bike. I wouldn't have bought it, but it was kind of.
Some people hate it. He says no, he hates it.
I don't know. I haven't found anybody that said they loved the bike. I've been looking at a lot of stuff on Facebook and stuff.
Oh, he just said the name.
Yeah.
And Palmodo said it's a bad fashion bike.
And so I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know.
Just a blockhead do a first ride review on it. It looks like a gorgeous bike. Two-wheel and Tom.
28,000. You know, would you? That's like a lot of people said. Well, I would buy a Street Glide before I bought that one. I don't know.
They might have nothing to do with it. It'll be
If
great.
they have one out in Sturgis, not Sturgis, if they have one, I can't keep talking Sturgis and Vegas together here. If we get out to Vegas this week on Thursday, if one of the dealers got one, I'll take one out for a ride and see what I think about it. Well, it probably handles fine. It's probably a nice bike, but is it worth to be a collector's item? Is it something that you'd pay? Because if it's just like the Street Glide that came out last year with, are you willing to spend 35,000 for it? Is it that retro to you?
Kiwi and Twerp said they just bought 5 acres 2 miles down the road from Buffalo Chips. See you there next year.
Did you check and make sure you can put a septic on it?
Or water.
Yeah. Hopefully you didn't buy one of those lots. There's some 5-acre tracts out there that we wished we would have got into, but 3 of the lots, one of them's got a creek going through it. Not really, but the creek going through it that you can't build anything on. You can't really.
Within so many feet of it.
Yeah, so you got to build a
And it's
really
like right in
small
the middle.
house.
So you can't build much on this side and you can't build much on that side because it's like right in the middle.
Yeah, there's no creek there, but it's a flood channel. And then we found out a bunch of them have where you can't put a septic in. You got to put this other thing in it, and it's going to cost you about $150,000 to $200,000 to put this other septic thing into it. And I had no idea. I don't know if that's where you're at or not. It's down Mead Road. But if you, like us, what we did when we bought our lot, that's what we made sure that it would pass a soil test before we bought it, because what good is a lot if you can't put a septic tank on it?
Well, one, they said you couldn't even drill a well because it was just bedrock right underneath it. And they said it would cost you more to drill for a well than it cost you the lot. They said they're selling that Harley Davidson battery bike for $32,000, and he says they catch on fire. The
Some
electric
did.
bikes?
Yeah,
Well, they said
some
the
do.
Teslas do too, so.
Some do, and there's still a few dealers selling the Livewire, because Livewire now is on its own. It's the division of Harley Davidson. It's not. So there's only very limited stores that actually have the Livewire. A bunch of them here in California, 4 or 5 dealers in California, but they're supposed to start opening their own stores that are just going to be Livewire exclusively.
Lifer Nav 33 says he'd love to see a Softail set up with a road glide. That would be awesome. Guess you'd have all the extra bags and stuff. No, yes. So I guess that's why they bought one of them lots. Kiwi and Twerp.
So hopefully you can put everything on it.
Maybe they're saying yes, they can. I don't know. For that money, just get a street glide or a road glide.
That's why I would think that same thing too. It wasn't anything. See, last year that other bike, now I don't know if I would have spent $30,000 for this street glide that they had last year. I mean, I did like that. It was a really neat looking bike, but it would almost be, if I bought something like that, it would be something I just would want to ride around on special occasions. I wouldn't want it to be my everyday bike.
Christopher said just paid $8,000 for his septic.
We only have to pay $5,800. And we're even going to have a lid you can drive over it.
I don't know if that's, he didn't say septic. He said sup, S-U-P-T-I-C. I thought that was a bike.
Septic. I think he went to say septic.
Septic, I don't know. Yeah, ours was, what did he quote us?
5,800.
And that's going to have like a concrete
said
or
that.
thing that you can drive on, yeah. Hope he had a good agent that did that due diligence for him as well. Perk test done for city power and water. Okay, there you go.
And you're all set.
Yep, that's good. And that's what they keep asking us, and that guy never wrote back either, so I guess the other guy is going to get the bid. EVs will go for the way of Pintos. Or Pacers, remember Pacers? We called them.
Well, just look at California.
Pintos.
They just got done saying how they're going to have all these major blackouts.
Well, that's what Art already said.
2035, they're getting rid of all, like, you can't buy a gasoline car after 2035 in California, but they don't have enough electricity to charge you. They're going to make it. No, they're not.
They said they've had all these years to make it.
That's
They've
right.
been, look how far electric cars have gone. I mean, the first one that was the Volt, I think a Chevy Volt, a friend of mine bought, and she couldn't, if there was traffic, she couldn't drive it from, I think they lived in
Home to
Ontario to work, which was probably what, 35 miles, 40 miles? If there was no traffic and she'd get to work, plug it in, and then she'd be able to drive it home. But if there was traffic and she got stuck in traffic for more than 10 minutes, she'd have to turn around and go back home. But I don't know.
Which most of these cars that they're selling, electric cars, are more for commuting. You're from your job to home, job to home. Like there's a YouTube one about the Ford electric truck. And the guy, I think, was able to pull a trailer. I think he got about 100 miles on it. And they used a gasoline truck, ran it till it got empty. And I think they got 250 miles or something on the truck, the regular F-150 truck. And
he says, Ralph says, maybe California Governor Pretty Boy Hollywood Gavin Newsom will go for that live wire since he's mandated no more combustible engines by 2030.
well, he's still going to be driving his BMW, his gas one, because you remember that whatever they preach, they don't do in California, the legislation.
Yeah.
Just like there are 20-foot walls around their building and with armed guards that you're not allowed to have any guns anymore. So, yeah, California's a whole different little basket.
Like 3 miles now.
I like to visit, but I will never live there again.
No. I know that, and everybody asked how we were going to go. That's why we're going up this way. We're going to go up through Nevada to get to Washington. So we don't have to pay the high gas prices, but then we'll probably come down the coast.
Well, that's why we got a car with a cheaper gas.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons we're probably going to get a Kia or some crazy thing like that. But I mean, it's going to probably get 30 or 40 miles a gallon.
That'll be a good thing.
Versus 20 with the truck, plus putting another 2,500 miles on my truck.
They're closing all the power plants, or the nuclear power plants.
Yeah, I don't think they have any nuclear anymore.
And then they just closed the other one that was up north in.
They're relying on the wind. Wind is the key.
Put him over there.
She thinks she's funny.
I gave you a 5-minute warning. Now it's 2:05. You've been on for 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Holy Jennifer minute. We were going to do an 8-minute video tonight. Everybody kept coming on. How many people you got on?
I don't know. I can't see that far.
Put your eyeballs on.
I don't know. These aren't helping to see any better. I can see better without. It says 69.
69. That's a magic number.
Pamoto says he's going to have an e-bike show in Miami next month. All the rage except for the new kiddos. To give him up is a further to get on the Diablo now. Trust that combustion number one.
And that's why I want to go down to Palomoto. One of these times we're going to get down to Miami and hang out with him for a while. They do some crazy things. I've seen a couple of his videos. I haven't got a chance to talk. I did make comment on one of them, but I do watch a little bit of them.
He sends them to me through Messenger. I didn't realize that. I don't look at my Messenger that often. I looked the other day and he had sent me like 5 videos. I'm like, oh, wow, these are pretty cool.
And he's got a lot of girls on his videos and a lot of bikes and doing wheelies and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
I know.
So,
well, maybe this spring, if we go down there, we can go to Orlando for a few days, see Sue a few days, and go down to Miami for a few days. He keeps telling me he's going to take me to the Keys too, and I haven't done that either. Just like Hawaii.
Go make it on our 50th wedding anniversary.
He told me 25th and 30th and 40th. We'll see. Just got here. Hey, Har 27.99. How you guys doing?
Well, we made a special announcement. We're stopping Sunday nights. No more lives on Sunday nights. Nobody seems to want to watch it or anything else. It's because of football. We did that last year and it kind of sucked, so we changed it. So we're going to start doing Wednesdays, but not this week. This week we're going to be Thursday night. We are going to be at Twin Peaks in Las Vegas. It's actually in Henderson.
Yeah.
They tell you.
So the address, if anybody's in town, is 9510 Southeastern Avenue in Las Vegas.
Got a big parking lot. We'll be there at 4 eating and then go live at 5 o'clock Pacific time because they're Pacific time in Nevada. So we'll be over there all day on Thursday, and then Friday morning we're going to start heading to Washington State. We'll be in Friday night. We'll be in Reno somewhere. Haven't found a place to stay, and then somewhere along the line, maybe we'll stay up there in what's that one neat town we stayed in that time with the water flood the water.
Oh, Idaho Falls.
Maybe we'll stay there, and then from there we could probably drive into.
I don't think Idaho Falls is very far from Reno.
No, you don't think? I think it is.
Oh, I think you have to go back. You'd be going zigzag.
I don't know. Let me look.
There's an atlas in the bedroom, but anyway, there's not enough water in California to cool a nuke plant. It was right on the ocean. If you know where San Onofre is, it's the 2 big boobs right there. So I don't know. That's what we always called it.
Distance
I was
from
freaking interested because when he starts the live stream, he's nonstop.
Oh yeah.
Say hi to Adam. I told you. Say hi to Adam. Adam Amsoil Adam. Good, thanks. So tell the
he was on the day. He was on our Sunday. Adam was Amsoil.
Oh yeah, he was. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yep. Don't forget before you leave, hit that thumbs up button.
This was supposed to be a short live tonight. We weren't planning. Yes, I did. I monetized it. So you should have all got a commercial before you got on.
So when are you doing your live? So
Right now, this week will be Thursday. Thursday night, we're going to be doing our live, normal time. I'll put a video, I'll put a link of, I got a bunch of pictures left over from Twin Peaks.
oh, you know what?
So we'll put those up. What?
I think Thursday night is when it starts. Football starts. Thursday night is the first football game. Yes, it is. It's the 8th. That's what the boys were saying when they were out here.
When is the first NFL game? This was October.
Mm-hmm. Yes. October. So if you want to ship that out to me, I'm ready. Or I'll get one when I see you in Sturgis next year. I'll drive up to Washington State from Tennessee twice to see my daughter who just lives north of Seattle. Lots of lovely views and beautiful scenery. Yep. I've never been to Washington State. He's been up there once. Say hi to Nicole and Megan. Hi, Nicole and Megan. How are you guys?
Oh, there's one. Buffalo and LA. That's who cares? What do you want to watch? Twin Peaks, girls, or do you want to see LA and Buffalo play?
Is it the Rams?
Yeah.
Raphael would not. He would rather watch the Rams.
You don't watch our channel anyway, so
I know.
it doesn't matter.
NFL is this Thursday night. Bills play.
Who cares?
We're not big sports people. I do like my St. Louis Cardinals, but I mean, I wouldn't not do something else just to watch them. Unless
so
they
mainly
were in
the idea
World
was
Series.
to be able to do Twin Peaks, and we've had a lot of you guys ask for that and wish we could do another one. And we said once we got into Vegas again, we would do this. So if you want to watch a football game, that's great. If you want to see Twin Peaks,
you know where to find them.
Well, actually, the game starts at 5:20, so you could actually watch 20 minutes of our show and see if it's worth it. And then, there's going to be 10 hours of commercials during a 2-hour game, so you could probably watch. You'll see more entertainment with us and our girls that we're going to have.
Lady Tramp says her RV is still in the shop. She'd love to meet up with her other home in Vegas, but too far to do a turnaround trip. They've got lots of people to stay with them, but they're at the farm and their RV's still in the shop.
Holy crap.
Good plan, Mike says. 108, thumbs up. Hi, there you go. Thank you all for giving us a thumbs up. YouTube likes that. Minnesota Vikings first game against Green Bay. Is that on the 8th too? Oops.
No, they only showed the one game. Buffalo and LA.
Ask her your question. Are you jealous of Alexis? Or we could ask Alexis if she's jealous of Surrey. We don't have a Surrey phone. We don't have an Apple anymore. We'll bring one to Sturgis next year. There you go. Thank you, Bob. He's going to bring me another pie. I like the cheerleaders. Oh, so Ralph's going to watch the football game. You only see that cheerleaders at halftime usually, don't you? I don't know.
Well, they're so far away, you don't really get a good look at them. Our girls are going to actually talk to you.
Says game on the 86-inch TV and you guys on the Chromebook.
There you go.
Somebody last year was telling us that. They're like, oh, what? Well, I can watch the game and you guys at the same time. There's people that when we were doing live during Sturgis and stuff, they're at work. So they're watching us on their phone at their little computer. And
I got to go to the bathroom. I got my stomach. I got to be in for 2 hours. What have you been doing in there? I really got to go to the bathroom.
I'm having some issues. Show the game during the live stream, 2 birds with 1 stone. We could do a little.
Well, I would get copyrighted probably because they always put that on there. You cannot show this.
Oh, yeah.
It'll probably be on in the.
Twin
Hopefully,
Peaks.
it won't have an issue with that, hearing that.
I don't know.
That might. Well, we're going to get there at 4, so we should be there way before the crowd gets there. It's probably going to get loud in there too.
My Mrs. Sky, my spouse, got the dumb. I'll ask Alexa so silly, and now she can't watch me when she's at work. See, you gotta be careful with that stuff. Rams suck anyway. Oh, well, when they used to be in St. Louis, we rooted for them, but they went back to LA, so now
It's going to cost $150 to park in a parking lot.
Yep. How about that? Yeah, our kids they go to cheap seats or whatever it is they get. They wait till the day of the game and then they get real cheap seats. Well, they bought these seats for like $45 to get in, and it cost them $150 to park. They said it costs more to park than it does for us to go in there. Or maybe they got them for $20 a piece, the seats, because they said that.
Well, 2 of them were in a clubhouse seats, and then they bought 2 other ones, and they ended up all sitting in the clubhouse.
Anyway, it was a mess. So are we done?
I guess.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We enjoy you guys. Thanks for getting us to 20,000 subscribers. Yep.
And
So
6 million views.
keep
Most of
sharing
the time,
us.
you look at how many other YouTubers are out there that are bigger than us and have a big following. They're nowhere near 6 million views. So that's kind of interesting when I started looking at some of these other YouTubers
Las
and
Vegas.
saying, "Holy crap, they don't even have half of what we've done." And we didn't used to do it. We only did it every day once
We're at a rally.
yeah, at a rally. And before we do maybe 3 days or 2 days, and we weren't even doing lives at first. We didn't even really got into doing lives. We just didn't think anybody wanted to sit around and listen to us talk.
Yeah. Now he thinks it's all kinds of fun.
Well, it saves me from editing.
Yeah.
Here's a video, and we'll get probably 1,000 or more people, or maybe even some of them will get up to 2,500 people will end up watching this video. And if you stay on for a little while, it's not a bad deal. I don't think it's going to show me the numbers now because
we have to get off.
It's
Just have a great night. All right, congratulations. Yep. And keep sharing us and keep telling people about us, and we can keep growing.
And don't forget to check out the video we put out yesterday. I get there's some really great content in there by comments. It's called Ride Our Trailer to Sturgis in 2023. It's right now just under 2,000 views, but we've been getting a lot of good comments down in there. And a lot of you are liking those comments too, so that's kind of neat.
Be safe, enjoy. Thank you. Thanks. That's because you guys rock. Thanks, Christopher. Neil says, gotta run again. Good night, all. Good night, Neil.
Yep.
So
wrap her up.
Thanks for coming along today. Like I said, thanks to all of you guys. It's fun hanging out with you. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
Also, Patreon's a good time to go because on the $25 one, we were slowly ending up here with Topless Tuesday. Got a lot of great videos on there. I got 4 parts up already. Plus, we got all the pictures came in, which we're going to end up putting that into a video with music. So it won't show up in the picture thing. So, hey, if you want to get in there, there's probably going to be at least 3 or 4 more videos, maybe even more. Plus, we got a bunch of stuff that we took on the street of girls. So those will be coming up too.
All righty.
So we got a lot of stuff on Patreon.
He says, wrap it up.
Well, I just wanted to make sure we got that plug. You always tell them to join Patreon. They're like, why do I want to watch Patreon for? Also, the $9 one, we already put a video up today. Nobody watched yet. But it's on people were asking how could you help us at an event and film? And we're doing a few little classes on there telling you a little bit about what we do and how you can help us if you want. Yep. You too could be a YouTuber.
Or if you're someplace that we're not, because a lot of you ask us, can you come to this? Can you come to that? Well, if you guys are going, you could film a little bit and put it, or even take pictures or do a Facebook Live or something like that and put it on our Facebook page. And there you go. You'll be helping us out. Other people will get to see it. Maybe more people will come. And if we're ever in that area, we'll get there. Lifer Name 33 and Sandy. Good night. Are we done?
I'm done.
I guess he's done. He's in the bathroom. See y'all later. Good night. We'll see you Thursday. Bye.